Okay. Okay. Welcome to Current Exposure. My apology. Thank you for letting me know you couldn't hear me, but we are live and we are talking to Carolyn Stevenson this evening about healthy and unhealthy relationships. So, if you all want to weigh in, get into the comment section. And also call us at 973-963-5012 and we'll plug you in. Let me add Carolyn to the stage. Carolyn, are you there? Hello? Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
trying to share the YouTube link.
Oh,
So
yes. YouTube, share the Facebook if people want to get involved in the discussion and have their comments flashed on the screen. So let them know. Facebook is saying they can engage or they can call in 973-963-5012 and talk to us live. And we have to get into this discussion about the healthy and unhealthy life partnerships that's going on out here. It's a lot of toxicity and dysfunction that people are passing off as normal. And I noticed that particularly in celebrity relationships, these things are coming out because this is what's going on not only in celebrities' lives but in everyday average people lives like ourselves. And people are being quiet or people are having picking sides and having so much to say without really making sense sometimes. And I noticed you posted a lot about it. I think it really started to really like blow up with the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith situation. People seem like to me they picked a side without hearing from both sides. Um and then there was the Kiki Palmer situation with the dress, Usher singing to her, and Darius Jackson. Then now you have Joe Smith and his wife with the OnlyFans that he didn't know about and giving,
allegedly,
yeah,
allegedly,
allegedly, and giving what was she giving a bad, what is it, beauty bomb beauties, what was the name of the massage thing when she
I
gave
have
Kim a
no
massage
idea. I
when
stay away from that with a 10-foot pole because it is a mess. But baby,
and then you really get to see people in the comments justifying nonsense. And I'm like, okay, like, all right, we have to have this conversation of what's a healthy life partnership and what's unhealthy. Oh, and then we have Lori Harvey that's just like next. Next.
next. Thank you. Next.
Yeah, right, right.
Oh
and,
wait,
and
no.
people being mad at her, and we're like, well, we don't know all the facts with that either.
Right. Wait, no.
Wait,
Did you
what
did you
has
see the newest one?
no, no.
Cassie is suing Diddy for $30 million.
Cassie?
Cassie, she is alleging that he
Wow.
was abusive,
Mm.
that he sexually assaulted her on more than one occasion,
Wow.
uh, had her sleeping with male prostitutes. Yeah, it's wild. It literally just came out, like
Were
literally,
they
like
in a
within the last
relationship together too?
while they were in the relationship together. And they were together for like 11
Wow.
years.
OMG. And
Yeah,
this the same Diddy where the 10 roaches jumped off the dresser. onto his face while he was sleeping in the projects.
What projects?
Oh, that's what he said. The
I
ten.
need him to
I
name.
mean,
I
I
need him to
need him
name
to
them
name.
projects.
I need him to name the 10 roaches. He literally said 10.
Listen, he named the roaches, but ain't named the projects. Like I can't. I can't. Yes, this is the same Sean Diddy, Puffy, P Diddy, Brother Love Combs. The same one.
Wow, vote or die, P Diddy.
Yes, yes,
Wow, these
yes.
people. Wow, we people have to stop following these celebrities.
They can't. They can't.
Like they are not role models, especially for healthy relationships. Now, if you want an unhealthy relationship, they are the go-to. So let's get into this. And you said something.
Listen. I,
Let
oh,
let
public service announcement. If y'all hear screaming in the background, that's my kids.
That's okay. That's okay. This is we do, we let the kids say what they have to say too. We know this is a family situation here. This is a
Listen.
certain content. You know,
Right.
we love the kids, but yeah, like so what is going on with these relationships? And people do people just want to have relationships just to have sex and that's it?
It is really starting to seem that way. Is I think people are so unwilling to do the work that's
Right.
necessary in order to have a healthy relationship that that's what they resort to, because at the end of the day it's all about being in your reptilian brain, and that's fight, feed, and fuck. Those are the three: fight,
Mm.
feed, fuck. That's it. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So it's easy to just fill those basic needs, but and that's it, because in order to do everything else it takes a lot of accountability. It takes a lot
Yeah.
of what they call shadow work, which is you just basically delving into who you are as a person and the things that make you tick. And a lot of people don't want to do that because
Self-love too.
it's self-love. It's called enforcing boundaries, standing on boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Not dealing with certain people, places, and things that's going to put you back in a negative space. But that requires too much work. That's too hard, and people don't like hard. People always want the easy way out. Just like with the new Ozempic, they're using diabetic pills to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? They're doing,
Wow.
yeah, they're getting BBLs instead of going to the gym, lipo instead of doing diet changes. That's all it really is. Podcasts instead of going to fucking therapy.
Right, right, right.
it,
So
it
all this instant gratification
the constant
nonsense,
dopamine
that's
hits. Yeah.
right. And it's not realistic at
No.
all.
And it's really not healthy, because at the end of the day they're looking for confirmation bias. They just want
Mm.
people to agree with their stance so they can continue to bullshit. They
Right.
don't want to be challenged. They don't want to look at the other side. They don't even want to delve deep into the situations that they're having, which is why people often obsess over other people's relationships. It's a lot of projecting, a
Mhm.
lot of
Yeah.
deflecting. It is just a lot. And I think the reason why society focuses on um, celebrities is because celebrities have the fame, they have the power, they have the money. These are the three things that we are told are supposed to solve all your problems. And they realize
Wow.
that it ain't solving no problems because these people got more problems than a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now society is driven to, oh, you got to be a high value man, you got to make a certain amount and all of this other stuff, and if you do this then you should have access to these type of women. So you know it,
What happened to the building? Everybody building and growing, uplifting each other in the relationships. I don't see that. I also see a lot of competition.
Right.
How are you in love with somebody and competing with them at
And
the same
competing with them at the
time?
same time. Yeah, yeah. I it is
Like, oh, you got a BMW, I gotta go get a Maserati. And it's like, okay, why do we even first, why do we need two luxury cars in a household? One is good, one car is good. We don't even need a luxury car. We just need something reliable
right.
within our budget.
Right. I really think that it's because we've equated status symbols to
Mm,
success. You know,
mm,
we see the rich
mm-hmm.
people, they drive nice stuff, they wear nice stuff, and they figure if I have these things, then that means I'm successful.
Wow.
Mm, are you though? Or are you
Wow.
just acquiring nice things? There's nothing wrong with having nice things, but when your priorities are fucked up, you know, like you said, you got two luxury vehicles, you can't afford none of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have nothing to pass down to your children. You don't have life insurance, but you know
Yeah.
you fly it in
Yeah.
a motherfucker. But that's it. You know,
Mm,
that's all you got. You know, and I think that they feel like if they have these things, then they made it, and they don't
mm-hmm.
need to do any more elevation.
Wow. No, and no work in a relationship. The other partner is just bugging. They're
Yeah,
nagging. They're
it
complaining. They gotta
yeah.
go get somebody that's not going to say anything, which is crazy to me because it's like you don't want nobody to communicate with you, like when you're not
No, they
doing your
don't.
best. And,
No, they
and,
don't, because they don't feel like there's anything wrong with them, because like I said, they've acquired these status symbols and they feel like they've made it, so there is no more evolution to be done. You know, and then the crazy part is they get these people that don't challenge them, and then they go and they cheat on them.
right, that too. Now, this whole cheating thing is blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind because it's like everyone in these married people are like, oh, everybody cheats. And it's like, well, why did you get married? And I'm not even that person of that mind. I've never in my life cheated on anybody. Even if the relationship didn't work out, it's like, okay, all right, one person at a time for me. I don't have time to be high in my phone and ducking and
I ain't even
dodging
got
because
the
I'm
energy. I
me
ain't got the
either.
energy to be keeping up with seven different conversations, and you got to say good
Exactly.
morning to four different people, and how
Right.
was your day, and then you got to make sure you ain't mixing up stories and confusing shit that you did with this one with this one. Like I ain't I'm
Right.
too
But
old.
I was like talking to one of my coworkers the other day, and she's like, she got a side piece, and I'm like, but aren't you married with two kids? Like, what do you mean? How do you put time, effort, energy, and give your 100% self to your family when you have a side piece?
They don't. They don't. They half-assing everybody around the board, but they're getting what they want out of it.
Sex?
I mean, it could
Not
be sex, it could
not
be attention, it
no,
could
not
be
even, no,
money,
it's not even that. It's just the attention. It's the cheapest thing that they could get.
attention.
Yeah,
And
cause
probably half-assed attention, because he probably got a side piece too. And they just swapping all them bodily fluids and then wonder why they got uncurable STDs out here.
and that's right. And nobody's talking about that. When we had the whole COVID situation, it was all this energy towards, oh, get vaccinated, COVID-19. But I'm like, what about these STDs? We we need to do, this is the health crisis right here. And then now that COVID happened, oh my gosh, people really went bananas. And now I think like gonorrhea is the number one or something, and syphilis number two. And gonorrhea has gotten so strong that
It can't be cured by antibiotics anymore.
right. So
So now
it's
you
like
just out here dripping,
that's
burning,
that's
just burning.
crazy. It makes me scared to even. I don't even want to be in a dating pool. Like if
Listen, the
that's in
dating
it,
pool has
the
pee,
mean
it has
green,
crack, it
the
has all of it
gonorrhea.
in it.
What this sexy red call it, the gonorrhea green? Like they try to normalize it. That's how crazy stuff get normalized. Naming a what is it, a lip balm or like
I
how do
have
you
no
name
idea.
chapstick after gonorrhea?
Listen, I
After
stay out of these
STD?
young folks' business because
Come
I ain't
on.
even got the time to be. I don't know. I worry
Mm-mm.
about my children. That's it.
And,
That's as
and it's
far into young people business I go. My children, because I can't even. I can't. I can't. It's too much. But yeah, no. I
how
don't.
you can you build generational wealth like this? Like the
No.
way that we going, that we're in the black
Mm-mm.
community.
You can't build anything like this. You can't. You can't even build successful relationships with your children. What are you teaching them?
Mm,
What are you teaching them? That it's okay to just randomly
make
sleep with people and
yeah,
date men for money and date women for sex, and you're not committing to anything. If you can't commit to a relationship, you can't commit to shit.
yeah. And you know, I'm not even gonna get into the alphabets. Cause they over there too. They mixing and mingling all across the board. And I'm like, wait a minute. What is going on over here?
Like,
Don't
let's
bring
talk about
that
this
over
for a
here.
second. Like, let's talk about this for a second. Like, what is going on? Everybody is losing their minds. They losing their minds.
Right.
The new term for it is becoming emotionally detached, and they are so detached from emotion that they are just running around here like fucking lab rats. Like, like
It's chaotic. It's chaotic.
it's really really bad.
And you know, like the kids, for the kids, like again, what are we teaching our kids? To have toxic, dysfunctional relationships?
Yeah, that's exactly what we teaching them.
And to bring more kids into the world with four different people and you don't get along with none of them?
Nobody.
And now, you know, you're 60 years old sitting at Thanksgiving with four different families because you had kids with four different people,
Right.
and you want all your kids to come see you. Now you're sick and you're 65, you want all your kids to come see you, and it's like 100 people at the hospital.
Listen, or better yet, you one of them old men in the club trying to get a young thing into your RV so you can have a little bit of company and attention, and then you go on about your business. Or better yet, you got so many kids you don't even know who your kids really is. You ain't been in their lives, and you mess around and date your own daughter.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. That's deep.
Because I've seen some of that going around too.
Wow. So, like, what are we doing with these relationships? Like, what are we doing?
Absolutely nothing.
And
Absolutely nothing. What we doing is psychologically torturing ourselves and other people, because it's some sick shit going on. Like, for real. Like,
and
black
then
women are being unalived at rates that are ridiculous. Like, every time I turn around, another black woman done died at the hands of their partner or an ex
wow.
partner. Or there was like this lady in North Carolina. She found out her husband was cheating, went and shot the side chick, killed her. Now she in
Wow.
jail. Yeah, yeah. This guy killed his wife and all their kids. Like, it's really 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 getting bad. I really just don't. I have no hope for humanity at this point. Like, I really feel bad for our kids. Like, and I used to say that over the years as a joke, but like, I'm really terrified for our kids right now because these girls under us, they don't want to be married. They don't want to have no kids. Or if they do have kids, they don't want to be married. They don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? The boys are becoming more and more I don't want to call them feminine, but it's like the roles are reversing. The men are becoming the women and the women are becoming the men. And it's really like bad out here. And
Mhm.
our generation ain't no better. You know, I don't know what's going on now. That everybody then I feel like they're going through a midlife crisis at this point. Because
Mhm.
it's wild out here. It's wild out here. And I really feel bad because at the end of the day, we weren't made to be like that. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
were made to be paired. However, the parents happen, I don't even care. I'm not even going to get into that because then you guys start talking about biology and, you know what I'm saying, gender versus sexuality and blah, 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 blah. A lot of intersecting going on. We ain't even going to go into that. But we were meant to be paired.
Right,
We were
right,
not meant
right,
to be
right.
alone. You know what I'm
I get,
saying?
and I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, I don't think, I think as human beings, we're social, and we're supposed to have that connection, but it seems like people, I agree with you, people are taking each other for granted, throwing people away. Um if it's like, for an example, you get into a relationship and you make a mistake and buy somebody a grape soda instead of an orange soda, now the
The
world is
relationship
over.
over.
The relationship is over. You're trash, you're garbage, you never cared, and you're like, wait a minute, all over because I mixed up the soda that you like.
Yeah,
Like, I
like
made I made a little minor
you
mistake.
don't know my worth. What?
Right, right,
It's a
right,
fucking
right.
soda.
I value. Why'd you buy me a soda anyway? I
Right.
drink Moet. And it's like, oh, well, we could get to that point. We're supposed to be learning and building with each other. I'm not a mind reader.
Right.
And vice versa. And it's like crazy, crazy stuff going on. Even with the lady whose like expensive tabby shoes got stolen. That was wild too. And she
Yo, no,
finds out
no.
this
What
man
was
has a girlfriend and gave the shoes to the girlfriend, but you meeting people randomly on the street
off
and
the
just
internet and taking them home?
right, like,
You
and then
asking to get set up. You ain't know that man from your asshole,
and
and you
she
took
slept
him
with him.
home and slept with him, and then got mad because he stole your shoes. You should be glad that that's all that happened.
Right,
You should be running
right,
down to the health department for a full workup at this point.
right. And I'm like, that's how I felt. Like, she's worried about tabby shoes. You're not
And
worried about your health.
and the crazy part is social media. I'm telling you, it's nothing worse than black women traumatized because they found that nigga and she got them shoes back.
Wow.
They
They
found
need
them.
they need to do that for the fathers out here.
That part. Well, no, they can't do that because some
This
of them be sleeping with them deadbeat ass daddies and they don't be wanting to expose they men. That's what that shit is. They ain't never gonna do that hot shit. Never, ever, ever.
Oh man. They'll Yeah, if they found the shoe guy, come on. They'll find the father instantly. You don't even need Maury and the 20 tests and the 20 dudes to come up there.
Nope,
And
nope, nope. Wouldn't need none of it. They'd find that nigga in 2 hours. That's like the chick. It's this chick. She's on social media and she's a single mother and she always calls her baby daddy the random man from Atlanta.
wow.
I'm not gonna tell you they found that nigga.
Wow.
Come to find out, he had. I think at one point, I think they had got up to like 6 baby mamas.
Wow.
and the baby mamas was fighting online. I was just like,
And that's the other
Jesus.
crazy thing. Why are the women fighting each other because the man slept with all of them and gave them babies? Why? I just don't understand that. Why are you fighting each other? I'm not saying people have to be buddy and friends, but what's the point in
Right, like
fighting?
your kids are siblings. Like y'all should be trying to
Right.
have a civil. Like he
Yeah.
did the same thing to all of y'all. Like let's
Right.
just be for
Right.
real. He got
Right.
all of y'all pregnant, and now y'all raising kids by yourselves. Y'all should be trying to get together and be each other's village because y'all got they siblings. But it's just no
At this
different than
point,
it's just
yeah.
no different than when a deadbeat leave his baby mama and marry another woman, and now she think like she got one up on the now she thinks she got one up on the baby mama. Oh well, he married me. Yeah, but bitch, he ain't taking care of his kids. The fuck you why are you proud about marrying a man that don't take care of his own legacy? Like where
Right.
do they do that at? Like
Mm-mm.
where? Like I just it's so
It's crazy.
self-serving. It's
It's
so self-serving. That's basically what it all boils down to. People are so self-serving now. They don't even care. As long as they get what they want, they don't care who or what they hurt in the process. And that is the sad part. And I'm not saying, tiptoe around people and their feelings. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But just be mindful of what you're getting into and be accountable of the fucking actions that you make because every action or inaction has a equal and opposite reaction. You got to understand that even though we have free will, we are not privy to escape the consequences of said free will.
That's true. Seda says make it make sense.
Listen, I don't
And,
even want them to make it make sense. I just want them to get off the internet with the bullshit because I'm tired of looking at it. Like I'm so tired.
and she says, Seda said, you're making a great point. Folks, wake up. And they need to because we're not going down a good path
No,
at
we're not.
all.
Listen. Humanity ain't gonna make it the way that we going right now. Like, I just need the aliens to come at this point and just set everybody straight because I'm tired of humans. Like, somebody need to come regulate this shit. They keep saying the rapture is coming and Jesus is on his way. I need somebody to
Hmm.
get here and do something because humanity is not good. It's not going to make it. It's not. Like, we are placing too much significance in the most insignificant shit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, I agree.
people are getting married just for status symbols, just to say that they're
For a
married. So that,
party.
listen,
Cause
for a
if you
party,
if you cheating on somebody, like what's the point in making those vows if you're going to be with somebody else? Why get married?
because it's for status. It's for status. You get treated differently when you're married by society. It just is what it is. You
Wow.
know what I'm saying? When you're married, you get treated differently by society, especially for women. When women are married, people treat them different because they're like, oh, And then for men, um, men seem to
Wow.
get more attention because nobody wants somebody that don't nobody want. So when you're married,
Mm.
it gives you more, like, people look at you differently and look at you more that they probably would have passed you up before, but now you're married, they feel like there's something in you that has to be good enough that another motherfucker wanted you. But in reality, people,
Wow. I gotta
yeah.
I gotta put a ring on my finger.
Listen, listen. I know women out here that buy the rings and put them on. At one point people used to do that so people to stay away from them. Now it seems to be drawing the motherfuckers in even more.
Exactly. That's crazy.
I listen because people they want the satisfaction with none of the responsibility. Like, okay,
Man,
so
it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be like a parent. It takes a lot to be a partner. And
it
it
takes
and
a
it
lot to be an adult. Like,
yeah.
listen, the most ghetto hood in America is adulthood. Like, I swear, I wish. I could go back to high school sometimes, but when I didn't have no responsibilities outside of homework and making it to whatever practice I had to make it to. Like, I wish I could go back.
Look, Keisha Phoenix says, seriously, when I go out with my married friends, men flock to them and pass me by.
Cause they know 9 times out of 10 that ring don't mean shit.
Wow, that's crazy. And Seda says, good point she's making. I like her. We gotta bring you back on, Carolyn.
Listen, but yeah, no, 9 times out of 10 the ring don't mean shit. You know,
Ramon says, self entitlement, no fathers, the breakdown of the nuclear family.
yeah, but we did that ourselves.
Yeah,
We
that's the
did that
sad part,
ourselves.
man.
Listen, if somebody could come between me and you, then we was never that strong to begin with.
And that's the crazy part, too, that I see that third parties come into a relationship and people start doing weird things. And it's like, what happened to the partnership that you would let a third party, somebody from outside of us, come in and interfere with that and disrupt that to the point where now we hate each other?
That's because the bond was never that strong to begin with, or that person was never that strong to begin with, because
Hmm.
it don't even have to be another individual. It don't have to be a stranger. It could be family, it could be
Yeah,
friends.
that too.
You know what I'm
Family,
saying? A
yes.
lot of the times that's what it is. You let your homeboys tell you how you should be in your relationship. You let your homegirls tell you how you be in your relationship. Like, I told my boyfriend the other day, I said, I don't really talk about our relationship to people. I said, I may say some things just to get a perspective. I said, but I don't really talk about our relationship with people because motherfuckers is miserable. And I said, and they'll
Yeah.
fuck your shit up just so you could be miserable right with them. I said, and then I said, if I start bad talking you and stay with you, now they looking at me crazy. Like, well, why the fuck you with this nigga if you so tired and all this other shit? Like,
Mm.
I
Ain't,
think
ain't.
people.
Oh no, go ahead, go ahead. No, I was going to throw my little stuff in there, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
wrap
no,
that up.
I was gonna say I really think that people should learn that relationships ain't always going to be sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
But if you can't talk to your partner about things that are really bothering you, and if y'all can't sit down and have a conversation, I don't care if it get heated. Y'all get mad, go in y'all opposite corners, count to 10 and come back. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to talk to your partner. If you cannot talk to your partner, that don't need to be the person that you be with. A lot of people
Yeah.
a lot of people talk about something, they want the relationships from the old days, but the relationships in the old days, they wasn't breaking up for shit. It didn't matter if Pop had a whole family out on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Or uh or if grandma, one of your cousins might not be your grandfather's. It didn't matter because they sat down together and they talked about it, or they didn't,
Right.
who knows. But a lot of the times when I talk to a lot of people that have been married for a long time, they always said that it was a partnership. They did it
Right.
together. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They went through everything together. It's, what is the purpose of being in a relationship if you're always going to feel like you're alone?
Exactly. And like, I agree with you. Like, when you put your stuff out there on social media, other people see and they start nitpicking or just trying to do things to like make you feel uncomfortable, your partner feel uncomfortable, or whatever. Because I was one of those people, like, I'm not putting this on social media. Social media is for basically like public conversations, all this other stuff. And then somebody was like, oh, well, you must don't like the person, or, and I'm like, what? And then when that individual said that, I'm like, wow, like, you're going with other people are saying. I'm trying to protect what we have. And to your point, when, yeah, things, it wasn't so much of a secret, it was like a protection. And when it started, I felt like when people started seeing and knowing and that being like the focal point, the relationship started breaking down.
Yeah, because now
And
everybody
that
got their
third
hands in
party
the pot.
stuff. Yeah. Oh, well, if she's doing that, what are you doing? Or, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I'm confused. Like, where did that come from? Who
It
are you
came from their
talking
own,
to?
yeah, it came
Where?
from their own projections. People start
Right.
projecting their bullshit onto your relationship, which is why I
Yeah.
be trying to figure
Yeah.
out why folks be having so much extra nonsensical
Yeah.
commentary about these rich folks. I be like, y'all don't
Yeah.
even know what's going on. Y'all don't even follow, don't even try to follow, don't do your homework, don't do nothing, but you making whole ass think pieces like this shit with Kiki Palmer and her baby daddy. I gotta talk about this shit
Mm-hmm.
because this shit is wild.
Okay. Let us
So
hear it.
she just recently filed for a restraining order and filed for sole custody of their child.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out that he's been abusing her. How
Mm-hmm.
long? I don't know, but he's been abusing her. And in the court documents, she actually gave them her home video footage where it's
Mm-hmm.
showing him abusing her. I think in one of the stills, he was like choking her over a
Wow.
couch. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he made some disturbing messages about relating himself to some guy in Homelander. I've never seen Homelander, but they said that the character that he related to was talking about like literally unaliving their children. Uh,
Wow.
yeah,
Oh
and she
man.
used all of this to get,
That's
you know,
sad.
a custody, sole custody of the baby and the restraining order, and she got it. She it's permanent. It's they said it's gonna go on for the foreseeable future. I don't, she's got a permanent restraining order. But
Wow.
my whole thing is when she wore that dress and went to that Usher concert, all the nignogs and ashy niggas in on Beyonce's classy internet had all the commentary in the world, called that girl everything but a child of God. But when it came to this situation,
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to see any real conversation out of it outside of what women are talking. I've seen a couple of men
Wow.
speak on it and say that it was messed up, but not at the level that it was when she wore that dress.
I think it should be an intervention at that point. Like if he's choking her and comparing himself to someone taking out their child, his kid, like that's the issue. That's an unhealthy partnership right there.
Right.
That's something that we don't want to be in. We don't want Kiki Palmer to stay in because it's just not safe. And,
Right.
and, and that's not cool. And that's not the healthy life partnerships that we need to be creating with people. Just so some of us, because and this is what I've seen. Some of us can have a piece of a man at home or a piece of a partner at home. It's not worth it.
It's really not. But like I said, it all goes back to being self-serving. It's
Wow,
all about
man.
that dopamine hit. That piece of a man might be what they are requiring right now because they don't
Wow.
want to do the work to require more. They can't require of their partner what they don't have in themselves. And if they do, they're crazy because you
Mm.
can't it has to be reciprocity. It has to be an equal give and take.
Yes.
And you can't just take from somebody and give nothing because then when they have nothing to give, now you're looking crazy. But you didn't pour anything into them. So what did you give them in order to get back? If you didn't give
I
anything,
like
you're not
that.
gonna get anything. You
I
can't
like
squeeze
that.
blood from a rock.
I
But
like that too. Like what are you giving to this partnership besides taking, like choking somebody? That's taking their life.
listen, and
That's
the
beating
crazy
up their
part,
confidence. That's beating up their self esteem.
and
That's lowering their self worth.
I really think that that's why that whole situation with Usher happened.
Mm.
I think that's why she wore that dress. I think that's why she went out to that concert to get some of that back. And the crazy
Wow.
part was is he watched her walk out the door and didn't say nothing, and then got on social media and publicly shamed her, which I told people was a form of abuse.
Wow.
I told him that was a form of abuse. I said, because why would he publicly shame her like that? When they lived together, he saw her walk out the door. He knew what the hell was going on. You know what I'm saying? But,
Wow.
I think that was her wake up call, but she still had to leave, and
Hmm.
that's another thing that I really hate about when people are in abusive relationship. They like, well, why don't you just leave? Leaving is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It's not that simple. And it's like you don't realize what's going on, what's happening to you until you realize it. And that could be years where it just hits you and you're like, you know what? Like, I've been unhappy for X amount of years. This, that, and that happened. And, or you see somebody else situation, you like, damn, that happened to me and that's happening. That don't even look right happening to them. So now it's like, wow, it's
Listen,
definitely
it's
not right if it happened to me too. So and it's not, yeah, when people say that, I see people posting that stuff. Oh, you should have left. This is not that simple.
it's not, and sometimes it actually gets worse when you do.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why I always advocate for women to get self-defense classes, and then I also advocate for people to understand that you don't victim blame. Let them people heal, because and especially when it happens to men, because people don't believe that men can be abused.
right,
And you know when somebody actually confides abuse into you, you can't that can't be your first thing. Oh, well, you should have left.
right.
Or, oh, nah, I don't believe that.
That,
Bel
yeah, that's so
Believe what the fuck
inconsiderate.
you hear, because that's the hardest thing to do, is to tell somebody outside of your relationship that you are being abused, because they're gonna look, because you're normally looked at like you're crazy. Why would you, if they don't believe you, they think that you're crazy for being in it, and then they think you're crazy for not leaving. But they don't know the level of things that you go through. I tell people all the time, how that person is to you is not how they are to their significant other.
Right,
You
right,
know, you know them
right.
as one thing, and that significant other knows them differently. They know them more intimately because they live with them. They're in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with them. You only see what they want to show you, but that significant other sees everything.
Exactly.
So if people are telling you that they are abused, you should always believe them. Now, if it comes out down the road that they're lying, then it's on them. But I think that we need to start getting into the point of believing people when they say they are abused, more than we are for not believing them, because that also keeps people in fucked up relationships, because
Yep.
nobody believes them.
Yep.
Because if they don't have that support system in order to leave, they'll never leave. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They'll
and that's
always
what
stay.
makes it hard. That's what makes it hard to leave because yeah, you can't. Nobody don't believe you,
Yeah, nobody
or
believes you.
people believe like you said, that person puts on a front like there's somebody else, and they're not getting what the partner's getting at home. The real the Miss Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of
Oh,
situation
facts.
going on, and some people they are wild in the house.
Listen, some people be so wild that motherfuckers know that that's how they are, and they just glad it ain't them.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
They be like, it's better it's you than me. No, motherfucker, no, no, it's not good for anybody. That person need to be alone. Like, you need to be warning these people, pulling them to the side. Like, look, that motherfucker ain't, missing a couple screws. You might want to get out of here while you still can.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, but we have no sense of community. Um, and I hate to get on my Hotep soapbox right now, but I'm about to. We were made to be individualistic people. That's not where we come from. That's not how our ancestors before slavery were. Yes, we were tribal. Yes, we were tribal. It wasn't all that
Yeah.
kumbaya shit. We were
We had
tribal,
a little,
so
we had a
you know
little
what I'm saying?
LGB cheat stuff going on too.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
throw that in there. Let me throw that in there.
Yeah, we were tribal. We had warring tribes, and I don't like you because you from that tribe and all that other shit. But
Right.
we weren't individualistic. It wasn't just about me, 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 my, and what I can get out
Exactly.
of it. We were
Exactly.
we were community based. We worked together as a group, and that's what I need people to get back to, because that how you show up in the community can help you show up better in your immediate family, because your immediate family is a community too. Your relationship is a
Yes.
community too.
Yes.
And you need to get better in your relationships, because how you show up in your relationships is how you show up to the greater community. It's the same shit. It doesn't, you know,
Exactly.
it don't I don't understand how you could do one here and then do another here. You're not being genuine, and it they need Jesus. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, I don't know, because I can't even say that they need Jesus, because some people have done the most atrocious things under the name of religion.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
some people have done the most atrocious things under the name of ego, of pride. It's just
Yeah.
people on people. Unfortunately, um that's just what it is. As long as people gonna people, you're gonna be disappointed, you're gonna be hurt, you're gonna be sad. The whole point is to not let it affect you to the point where you are disappointing and making other people sad. Now, the road to
Yeah.
hell was paved with good intentions. You can attend it, did not do it, and it happens, but that's when you have to say, well, I'm sorry that my actions or my words affected you. I apologize, that wasn't my
Right.
intention. And going about your business. You might be forgiven, you might not be forgiven, but we got to start taking better care of the people
People
around
don't do
us.
that though. I noticed that people don't apologize. They just
No,
keep
because
it
if you
moving
apologize, you have to
and,
admit that you did something wrong.
and then like whatever. And and when I like apologize when I did something wrong to somebody, but it made me feel bad. It made me feel even worse actually. Hearing myself, I'm like, damn, maybe this is why people don't do it, but I felt like I owed it to that person and I owed it to myself. Like it was like a not just for me and not just for them type of thing. It was just a emotional maturity type of thing. Like I gotta feel uncomfortable,
Right.
but this is the right thing to do, and I'm like, dang, this is probably why people don't do it because yeah, when
And it's
you're really
exactly why
wrong,
they don't do it.
I felt bad, like dang, like I did that junk to you, like that was crazy.
Right. And that's why a lot of people don't do it, because they don't want to hear that their actions affected somebody in a way that they didn't intend. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to happen, because no two people process the same information the same way. It's
And
going to
yep,
happen. You're
yep,
going to offend people. You're going to hurt
yep,
somebody's feelings. You're going to, cause unintended actions. But you have to have the emotional maturity to understand that once you do that, you must genuinely apologize. Not
yep,
say, "Oh, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings." Oh, no, I'm sorry if your feelings hurt. No, nigga. Say, "I'm sorry that what I did or what I said made you feel this way.
right,
That's
right,
not the way I intended it. I
right,
apologize. Can you forgive me?" And if they cannot forgive you, you got to take that shit too. You can't be mad if a motherfucker
yeah.
don't want to take your apology. And then
That
also,
too. And you know what? That part right there makes me feel like even more trash because it's like, and you're right. The person doesn't have to forgive me.
no, they don't.
And I'm
They
like,
don't.
and I feel like I wish I could go back in time and undo what I did because I'm like, dang, like that was messed up. And they're not accepting the apology because of how they felt. And then and the reason why I apologize is because the person kept bringing it up.
Right.
And
Right.
initially, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, okay, you just want me to feel bad. There's some extra stuff. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, no, like my actions really hurt this person. And I was like, it just like a light bulb went off. Like, I really need to apologize, because then it's like I stepped outside of myself to see what I did. And I'm like, oh, damn, that was messed up. That was crazy. Even though I thought nothing of it at the time, but to that person, like you said, I offended that person with my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, and this is because, yeah, we thinking on two different pages. And to me, on my page, I was on something like, okay, whatever. But on their page, it like what I did was offensive,
Right.
and a big deal to them.
Right.
So I processed that, and I'm like, oh man, like, I'm sorry I made you feel like that. And then I felt like trash, like, damn, I don't want to be that person that's going around hurting people and then being inconsiderate and not showing compassion when they're telling me. And it's like, yeah, now I feel like sometimes, like, yeah, like, oh, I gotta hear this again, but I get it now.
Right.
Like, I know why they keep bringing it up is because it was hurtful, and now I'm in a space where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that. I apologize. That was wrong, and I do wish I could go back and take it back, but I can't. But that's all I could do is just wish that I never offended that person, because this is somebody that I really care about and love, and they can't get past that, because I
And
guess
that's
they
another thing too.
feel like, to them, yeah, like, I would have never expected you to make me feel that way.
And that's crazy because you can't place unrealistic expectations on people. You have to understand that in life, people are going to hurt your feelings, people are going to offend you, people are going to do things that you don't like. It is up to you as a person to have a deal breakers, boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
what you can and can't accept. You know what I'm saying? And then once a person has apologized, even if you don't accept the apology, you have to learn to heal and let that shit go, so that way it doesn't keep cutting you back open, because you keep bringing yourself back to that place of trauma. You keep
Yeah.
delving into those feelings, and that shit is taking a toll on your body.
Right, right. And I even asked too. I said, what can we do, or what can I do to help you heal from what I've done that made you feel. And it's like, to other people it may not seem like a big deal either, but to that person
It's everything.
it was.
It's
So,
everything.
and I don't even talk to other people about it, because I don't want to hear, oh, they being extra and they making you feel bad. No, no, no,
They
because
are entitled to their feelings. Everyone's
exactly,
feelings are valid.
exactly,
Everyone's feelings are valid. You can't tell people
exactly.
how to feel. You can't tell people how to react. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
And that's another thing too that I wish that we stopped doing. Stop telling people how to react to stuff,
yep,
especially
exactly.
things that are offensive, things that are disrespectful, and things that are hurtful. Stop slapping people and then telling them that they can't slap you back, or if they punch you in your fucking face, or if they do
Right,
something more to you, then, oh, you did too much. No, they did exactly what they wanted to do to respond to the shit that you wanted to do.
exactly.
If you didn't want to get beat the fuck up, stop going around slapping people. Mind your words, mind your hands, mind your body. Stop offending people and then telling them how to react. That's another
Right.
reason why people don't want to get in relationships neither. Because and
Yep.
that and I say this all the time. I said social media has made people too comfortable with being disrespected without getting punched in the fucking mouth.
Mm. Mm.
And that's why everybody loves social media. That's why everybody goes to social media, because they could get up there and be the actual asshole, or the
Right.
asshole that they want to be perceived as, without any type of repercussions. The most they're going to do is get their page to shut down for a couple of days. Nobody. And then if you get seen in the street and somebody beat you the fuck up, now it was, oh, it ain't that serious. Social media is not that serious. Isn't the internet a real place?
Yeah. This
Aren't
right
these
here,
real
this is
people?
real.
Look,
Yes.
aren't these real
Yes.
people? So this
Yes.
shit is real. Stop getting up there and being a fake person if you don't want real consequences. Because once
Yeah.
again, you cannot tell people how to respond to disrespect. If you don't want that shit to happen, then you don't need to be disrespecting people. Or if you disrespect them, be prepared for some shit that you ain't never thought of in your motherfucking life to happen to you. Because you can't, like, you can't. You can't live in a place. You can't quote free will and then tell people how to respond to your shit. You can't,
Hmm.
because you're taking away that person's free will.
Right.
If you're
That's
telling me that
true.
this is
Yeah.
all I can
Yeah.
do after you done did some disrespectful shit to me, baby, bye. You might as well just stop talking to me. Cause I'm take that shit to a whole nother level. I'ma do what you say I
Wow.
can't do. Plus I'ma do some more. Cause who the fuck you talking to? Who gonna check me?
Yeah. Yeah. Free will.
It's free will.
You. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
want? That's because we live
Absolutely.
in America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, and it ain't free, and a lot of these motherfuckers is punks.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So we have to stop invalidating other people's feelings too. In these life partnerships that we choose with people. You know.
I mean, just in society in general, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
and
that too. Yes. Yes.
and I think that what is it with kids in this empty stomach? Why do they can never get enough food. Like, I need them to
They're
have their school
growing.
stomachs. Listen,
They're
I need them to have
growing.
them school stomachs. Okay, I need them to have the school stomachs. You know, where they get the little portion and they eat it and go on about their business. But I really think that the reason why people invalidate others' feelings is because their feelings are once invalidated and they were told to get over it.
Mm.
It's
That
trauma
sounds
passing
like a good
trauma.
point. That sounds like a good point.
You know,
Yeah.
that's like we talk about um disciplining children. Some people don't believe in hitting their kids, and they like, well, that's why these kids is fucked up now. No, these kids are fucked up now because they're not taught respect. Or they
Right.
are taught respect and they want you as an adult to respect them. A lot of these people that's grown as bullies.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that one. I agree with that because when you teach a kid respect, they they learn, and when adults start bullying them and respecting them, they step up. They have no they understand that free will. Their will is automatic, and they start addressing those adults. um Wait, look what Queen said.
Listen. I say fuck these kids all the time too, but I'll break your face over one of these fucking kids, okay?
Queen, what's up, Queen?
I say fuck these kids all the time, like all the time. But I break your face over one of these
Oh
kids. You hear me?
man, oh man. And for people who don't know, that's just the term. That don't mean we don't
It
care
don't
about the
mean
kids and we
actually
don't love
fuck
the
these
kids.
kids, okay? Like, and that's another thing too. Like,
For this conversation with the LOL at the end.
right.
Cause
Put the LOL at the
I don't
end.
want no problems, no authorities,
Listen,
nobody
and listen,
talking
and I tell them
about,
too. You don't like what I said? You can come get these kids. How about that? I promise you, you bring them back, especially when they doing stuff like this.
oh wow, what is that? A masterpiece? That's a masterpiece on the
Yes,
wall.
it's a masterpiece made with lipstick that won't come off my wall.
Mm.
So now I got to paint the whole wall.
No, that looks nice. Leave it just like that.
Sure. But yeah, no, my 4 year old did that one. But but
That's
yeah, no,
beautiful.
I really need people to stop passing down trauma or passing over
Right.
trauma.
Right.
Go ahead. And
And
that's really what it is. They're like, oh, if I survived, you can survive too. But you didn't
no.
survive. You didn't
Right.
survive. You
They're a piece of a person, like that piece of a man that lady allows to come live in her house, and he's living off of her. And then they get married for the status, and then he's disrespecting her.
and she disrespecting him.
And that's right. She disrespecting him. They're not uplifting each other, and they're just with each other just for the sake of being with each other because they don't want to be alone. But it's so much damage.
That they are alone. They two strangers
Yep.
walking around in the house.
Yep.
And then God forbid
Exactly.
if they got kids in the mix.
Exactly.
The kids be like, listen, why don't y'all just get a divorce?
Right.
The kids be tired of it. They like, just break up already. Just go and get. Just please, please. You
Yep.
know.
Queen said the world is ending, y'all. I think you talked about the aliens coming down.
Yeah, I said the aliens need to come and just, somebody, anybody. We need some help down here. Because humans ain't gonna make it. We not gonna make it. We not. We not.
It's
Stop
about, you
making all
know
that noise.
what? Personal responsibility. Taking responsibility for our this is when the individual part comes in. You taking personal responsibility for your actions and how your actions are affecting your relationships with other people, and how you're having an impact on other people, and whether you're uplifting or knocking them down or whatever, that's all personal responsibility. And self-awareness too. You got to be aware, like when I talked about the situation where the person said I did something hurtful and I didn't think it was a big deal, but then when I started thinking about it and the light bulb went off, that was the self-awareness for me to say, oh, you know what, it's not, if that person would have did that to me, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but it was a big deal
To them.
to her, right? So it's like I gotta respect that and acknowledge that.
Right.
Like you said, that's like you doing a disrespect, but then when a person disrespects you back and go disrespect from to 1,000, you can't be like, oh, you did too much, but what you did to them was on that level to them.
Right. To them. Right. To them is even. To them is even. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Common sense is not common. It's a gift from God. Not everybody has it. Because common sense means that you actually have to think about more than yourself. Keyword common. Common. That means many people on the same page. And that's not it. A lot of people really only care about themselves. And that's why they can't have
Wow.
successful relationships, because they really are all about what can I get out of this? How can this serve me? And while you are supposed to start like that, you
Mm-hmm.
also have to then say, well, what can I do to add to this person? What can I
Right.
give this person that's going, do I have the capacity to give this person what they need? Period.
Wow. And you know what? And I think what you're describing, I think that's what Will Smith realized. And I don't think people saw that because they were so busy trying to make it a war and pick a side. And I don't even think it was that. I think it was him like acknowledging, like, yeah, like the hurt he did to his wife
For all
by
them years.
by not acknowledging her feelings and what she was going through, and feeling like you got a great life. You got an awesome husband.
You should be happy.
Exactly. And that's what I saw, and that's what I picked up on you, Sam. Like,
Yeah,
why?
and that's a perfect example because everybody, Will and Jada have been couples goals since they got married. And nobody and the reason why I'm so mad that everybody jumps on Jada is because nobody pays attention to Will's shit at all. Like he's presented as what a successful black man should be, but nobody knows the real Will Smith. His publicists are fucking, they should be paid in gold and diamonds, okay? Because they have him painted as the all-American black man that can do no wrong. But he's been a fucking terror for 30
Yeah,
years.
look what he did to Aunt
You
Viv.
dark
That
skinned
part.
Aunt Viv.
And he apologized. And I was like, even when he did that, I thought that was a big move too, because I'm like, wow. He didn't think he hurt Aunt Viv, and then he realized too, like it took him like over
30
2 decades,
years.
yeah, to realize, like, damn, I ruined your career. I got you fired. I used something against you that's used against black women. You're the angry black woman nobody wants to work with. And gave her a bad reputation. I was
And
we
nobody
all
and
forgot about that.
nobody bat a fucking eye. Nobody batted a fucking eye. He literally got up on national TV and say, I fucked up your career because of my
Yeah.
ego. And
Yep. He
nobody
said it.
batted an eye. Nobody thought that
They were
translated
like,
over to his personal life with his wife. Right. Because
right.
he admitted it. Oh, thank God he admitted it. But what do you think he was doing to his wife? What do you think he was doing to his kids? You know what I'm saying? When he put that book out, nobody paid attention to the fact that he said that he's the reason why his kids wanted to be emancipated and moved out.
See?
Nobody looked at how he said that he was bad in his relationship with Jada. He never, you know what I'm saying? He never really looked at her as a person. It was just all about what he wanted. Me,
Yeah.
I.
Even when he talked about throwing her that birthday party. And
Right.
he said it himself. She said, I don't want nothing big. I don't even want a party. And she walks out and boom, it's this big giant celebration that she specifically asked to not have.
For
And
years. For
right.
years. Let's put
It's
that in there. He had been
and
planning that party for like 2, 3 years, and she told him for 2 to 3 years,
yeah.
I do not want this party. This is not what I want. But he
He
did it.
embarrassed her by
He
doing
did it
it.
as a feed to his ego. Cause look
Yep.
what I did for you. And she
Yeah,
never
and you
asked
better
for it.
right. And he's like, you better be happy. And he talked about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is monstrous.
So you could imagine what's been going on in the background all of this time. You know, she even said that the reason why she won't divorce him is because he doesn't believe in divorce. But she don't believe in marriage. She
Wow.
married him against her own beliefs, and she's choosing to stay married to him against her own
But
beliefs.
I thought she said she made a promise not to do the divorce too.
Yeah, because he told her when he got divorced from his first wife, he never wanted to get a divorce. He said once he got married, that was it. There is no divorce.
Wow.
But let's blame Jada. You know, and that a lot of people are like, oh, I wish they would shut up, and I'm like, no, I wish they would keep on fucking talking.
Right.
I wish
Right.
they would keep on talking. I want people to see what it's like to marry a motherfucker just to say that you married and never do anything to really get to know the person that you're with. I want
Right.
y'all to
Like
see this shit.
laugh, have real connections, you
And don't get me
know.
wrong, I really believe that they are great friends, but they are the worst fucking married couple I ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
I
So
really, like I really, but but they're great friends, and I can respect that. But I'm glad that they're talking. I'm glad that they're dismantling that picture of perfection that people have, that pedestal that people have put them on for like 20 some odd years, because
Yeah. And that's pressure too.
that is pressure. That's why
Like, well,
they've
you
been
don't want to be
separated
with
for 7 years.
somebody, but you don't want to, give the black community hopelessness.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's why they've been separated for 7 years and didn't tell nobody.
mm. Queen says it seems like people with money are more unhappy than people without. Homeless relationships last longer than couples that are not homeless. Some people are better off friends. And then Keisha says, when you're healing and heal, you view things differently than hurt people. They won't get it. They have not gotten to that point. I
Right.
agree.
And you want to know why homeless relationships last more than people with that ain't homeless? Because
Tell
they
me.
in the struggle together.
Ah.
They in it together. That
Mm.
we need. That's who we need to be looking. We need to be looking at these fiends. We need to be looking at these homeless people. Them the people that we need to look at. The people that it be like two disabled people in a relationship together. Those the people that we need to look at. Those are relationships
Wow.
that we need to examine, because they both understand where the other person is coming from, and they are both there to help the other person, no matter the economic situation or whatever. Those relationships last the longest because them people have learned to accept the person that they are with, and they are trying to make it work against all odds. I think fiend relationships are fucking hilarious. Okay, especially
Oh,
when
wait,
they
the
on their way
goal
to
the,
get high.
the the goal is to get right high. We're gonna get high together. We're gonna get the
You
drugs.
gonna steal this? I'm gonna go ahead and do this. You gonna steal this? I'm sell a little booty. We gonna come back together with the money that we got. We gonna scam the drug dealer, and we gonna go somewhere and get high and do it all over again. They got a plan.
You should say a true partnership.
It's a
Now,
true
and
partnership,
that is,
okay? A true partnership, okay?
oh
Them
man.
people, them relationships last longer than most people with way more than what they have. And I be wanting to know why, and now I understand why. Like when you hear them argue, you understand why they together. You know what I'm saying? Because little boy, get them dinosaur chicken nuggets and take your butt upstairs.
Oh,
Get the dino nuggets and go upstairs. But yeah, they I'm telling you. Or like, what's another one? What's a good one? When your kids is up to some shit, them the relationships that I need to, like. Let me tell you something. When my kids is in here up to something, they be plotting and scheming together. They be all in on it together until it's time to get in trouble, and now everybody ratting on everybody. But they they be in cahoots, boy. Like
oh,
they
wow.
listen. One be the lookout, the other one be taking the chair and sliding it over to the freezer so they can get in the freezer and get to whatever is in the freezer that they want. My oldest know how to work the air fryer, so he put the food in for everybody, and then they sit down, they watch their TV. I be sleep oblivious to the bullshit. They be down here cooking themselves stuff.
Wow.
Okay, and as soon as I come down here yelling, now that everybody pointing at everybody else, but y'all was just all in cahoots together. But that's what I mean. Everybody
Wow.
know they
Right.
role, they play their role, and they get the job done. That's what you're supposed to be doing in a relationship. The problem is that people think that there's no building to be done in a relationship. Like,
They think it's supposed to be ready made. You just jump in. The
just
person
jump in
automatically
and enjoy.
understands you and all of that. And soon as they don't, you got to be out and go to the next person. But in reality, you're jumping from one person to the next, and then you're creating kids in the midst of this, and then you still have to learn somebody at some point.
They learn them just enough to get what they want. Just enough.
Wow.
You can tell when that motherfucker lying, but you can't tell when they unhappy.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That is so interesting. Yeah, I can't get high either, Queen.
Listen.
But
I
yeah,
make a
that's
terrible I make a terrible drug addict because I don't like needles and ain't nothing going up in my nose. And the most I'ma smoke is a Newport. Okay. Ain't gonna have me out here looking crazy.
oh
Mm-mm.
man, me either. Me either. So I don't know. I don't know. That relationship not working. That won't work for me either. And
Listen,
the
I
homeless,
mean,
I can't do the homeless,
I want
man. I
that type
can't
of
be
relationship
outside.
without the drugs. Let's do it without the drugs
Yeah,
and
without
without
the
being
drugs
homeless.
and with a
Okay?
roof over our head.
Right, with a roof over our head, food in the refrigerator, we good, we got money, ain't nobody getting high, we ain't fighting over the last piece of crack, I don't want none of that. But I'll take I love you for who you are, you love me for who I am, and we gonna go ahead and build some
Without your
shit together.
grill and everything.
No teeth. Just none. None. Ain't got a tooth in their mouth. Like,
Oh man.
ain't got a tooth. Not a tooth.
Wait. Oh yeah, I need my teeth too. I need my teeth.
Listen,
I
I
need my
like
teeth in the
food. I like
building.
food. I don't want to be gumming food for the rest of my life. I don't want dentures because I know
They
people
handle
with
that
dentures.
too. They be at Thanksgiving. Make you be telling them to make the plate. No, no, they don't. They can't eat that. She'll have no teeth.
Everything got to be soft. And
A
they
whole container of yams. Like you just gonna eat yams?
yams and stuffing and cranberries and macaroni and cheese. You ain't got no meat on that plate. Nothing. You gotta get one of the kids
Like
to cut
baby
your
food.
shit up. Yeah, like baby food. Listen.
Oh,
Wait.
oh.
What you cooking? Speaking of Thanksgiving, what you cooking for Thanksgiving? We
Who
gonna
me?
see. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to my mother's. I'm going to my. I'm not cooking nothing this year. I might. Well, I'll do like some pre stuff. I'm out this weekend for my baby Pooh. I'm making him some yams. I'm gonna do a little Cornish hen and some mac and cheese for him. That's my
Listen,
baby boy. That's my baby boy. That's I gotta make him something nice.
listen. I am excited and dreading Thanksgiving at the same time
Why you don't want to cook?
because
And that's
first
the
off,
other thing. These these people out here don't cook. I now I could be was I could relate to some of the men because if you're not working, you can't learn how to cook while you're at home.
listen, a lot of and that's another thing that we need
And
to touch on.
you got a snap card. You
Listen,
can't go on YouTube and watch
Food Network. You
food
got
right.
cable and can't go on Food Network. You go on YouTube. You go on Tasty. Food Network got an app. You can learn stuff. Yumly. I got a few of them up there because I be trying to find ways to
And
eat the
that's the
same
thing.
shit over
Yeah,
and over again.
right. And it's crazy. It's like these women have expectations for the men to be out there getting the money, all this other stuff working. But why is he coming home to no food in your home? I don't understand that
I
part.
don't listen.
The
Listen.
kids are
I
at
don't
school from like
understand.
what 8:30 to 3,
I don't
8 to
understand that part
3.
either. Like I'm confused. And
I don't even
I
have
really
enough
be wanting to
time
know that.
to
I
cook.
do want to
I
know that.
gotta prep my stuff.
I want to know how do you I want to know that too. How do you expect a man? You want a man to go out, work, come home, pay the bills, take care of you, take care of the family, and even cook that man no food. You
Right.
don't. You don't know how to wash clothes properly. You
That
don't
too.
you don't want to take care of this man at all. You don't even want to fix him a plate. It's
Right.
confusing. So what are you supposed to do? Sit there and look cute all day? Like you think you
Yeah,
Peggy Bundy eating fucking bonbons and shit?
right. That part, I'm like, wow. Like I be hustling when I come home and I gotta cook. I'll pre-prep like the night before.
Chicken nuggets.
So when I get home, yeah, I got those dino chicken nuggets too. Because those dino chicken nuggets, you pop them in the air fryer. I just add some sauce and my
Listen,
boy be good to
listen.
go. Look,
Okay, I
steam up
listen.
some broccoli on the side.
I literally bought them for them because I knew I was going to be on the podcast tonight, and I wasn't going to be finished cooking by the time everything started. So I said, everybody did y'all eating dino chicken nuggets tonight, but I don't know. I don't know. Hi, baby.
Oh, hey, cutie.
Oh yeah,
What's
that's my
up?
face twin. He stole my whole face.
Wow, I
Let me see
see.
your
Wow.
star. And you go upstairs. Y'all go upstairs. Mommy, but yeah, I don't. Mommy.
These girls had like 10 kids. They claim two and four. Other people claim the rest of them. Wow, yeah, yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't get it.
I
With
don't
the
either. Just like I don't get these men that expect women to go out, work, pay
that
half the
too.
bills,
That
take care of the
too.
kids, keep the house clean, look good, and have energy for sex while you just come home and just sit down all day. That's not fair. It's
Yeah,
not fair. If you want somebody to if you want somebody to take care of the house, you have to take care of the working part. If you want somebody that's going to work with you, you're going to have to split the home responsibilities. That's not that you can't call that shit 50-50 if the only thing 50-50 is the financial part. That's not 50-50.
exactly.
It's 75-25.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then the
And
only reason why you want to go 50-50 is because you want to wear the latest Jordans. That's the same Jordans from when we was in high school, just to say that you could afford fucking Jordans. And going on them
exactly.
all boys trips to DR so you could sleep with prostitutes.
Exactly. Like and even in my partnership, it's a little alternative, but somebody I know how to cook. Other person knew how to cook, so that was good. We could swap out with the cooking or providing the food, but that was something we at least knew. Food has to get on the table,
Right.
like
People gotta
and,
eat.
and
Like,
nobody's going to these fast food restaurants to eat
listen, fast food
all the
costs
time.
just
I
as
mean, that's
much.
expensive, right? It's
It
expensive.
costs just as much, if not more, as cooking at home. Like I know I have my days where I don't want to cook and I'll get something for the
Right,
boys or
right,
whatever.
right.
But we not making that an every night thing because that shit gets
Exactly.
fucking expensive and we already have food.
Exactly. And then you know what? My son like K-pop, so I gotta go cook anyway. Like, oh, you
Listen,
can't pick a place where I don't have to cook, so now I don't have to season the food, but I'm up in K-pot
cook it on the
grilling.
grill. Like I might as well
Yeah,
be
like,
home. Like the fuck? Who comes outside to cook their own food?
right,
If we ain't at a barbecue, what we doing? Like,
right. I'm like, wow, you want to go to K-pop? Like,
listen,
I mean,
I do kind of want to try that though.
it's
But
good. It's
I
good.
don't, I don't,
I don't
I
get
don't
that
get it.
either. And then we had then like in our partnership, like I know how to do the laundry. We trade off. We both know how to do the laundry, and somebody fold the clothes and
Right,
put them away.
right.
It's like these. I see people complaining. I'm at work, and the husband complaining that his wife, one of my coworkers, his wife been at home all day, and she's not putting food on the table. And I'm like, wow, that's a recipe for disaster.
That part.
And then he had a side chick. And
Duh.
the side chick was cooking And I'm like, so you like how do you explain to your family you ate already? Or like you just go home with a full stomach? What about the kids?
He probably go home so late that everybody sleep.
Maybe, yeah, but that was crazy. That was crazy. That was
My
crazy.
my
I was like,
question would have
wow.
been, well, why you still with the wife?
I guess for the status, like you said.
But you
And the
could go
kid,
and
and you
marry a
know what?
side chick and still
The
have the status.
but the kids, he didn't. Maybe he doesn't want to pay alimony, child support. I don't know, but
That
that was
sound
wild.
personal.
That was wild. I'm like
Yeah. Or maybe the wife stopped cooking because she found out about the side chick.
maybe I
Listen,
don't
when
know.
when people start complaining about their relationships, they don't like me because I start asking the hard questions.
I
I
just
want to
be
know.
listening. I be listening. I be inside like, dang,
No,
like
I
I'm.
be listen. I be wanting to know because I do too. I be like, damn, that's fucked up. But then I be wanting to know, like, well, why you still with him?
And Queen said, I hope the side piece is a female, not a male. Hey, you never
Listen,
know
listen.
today.
Whatever
You
float they
never
boat. I
know.
ain't even.
You never know because you got that going on too.
And that's another thing that I really, really hate. I
Yeah.
really hate that people can't live their truth. I really hate that. I really hate that. So many people are being hurt.
And people need to let people live their truth to avoid stuff like that because yeah, I've seen situations like that where it just went all the way left. You
Right.
know, look at Ramon said, I guess the guy was having dessert. I bet he was. He was
Oh yeah, he
having
definitely got some dessert. Some
some
poutine pie.
oh man, poutine pie. Oh, I thought it was an upside down pineapple. I don't know.
Listen, could be that too. Who knows? Some red velvet cake. Who knows?
Red velvet.
Devil's food. Who knows? Who knows? But I really, really need people to sit down for a second and evaluate themselves
Yeah.
and evaluate the effect that they have on people. You know, everybody has a born date and a death date. Is what you do with that dash that matters.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand that. And hurt people, but I need y'all hurt people to
That's
go get some
true.
help so y'all stop hurting people.
Yeah.
Because some people can get past it and some people can't. And just because a person can't don't mean that they're weak. It's just
Right.
everybody's not meant to handle the same thing. We're not made the same. We're all uniquely different. What may be able to overcome, some other people can't be overcome. You know what I'm saying? I've gone through some shit in my life that when I tell people, they be looking at me like, damn, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And they be like, if I was you, if I was in your shoes, I could never. I'm like, but I did though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I did, and I'm glad I did, and I'm grateful that for that experience. You know what I'm saying? But some people just can't get past the things that you do. Like you got to be very mindful on the impact that you leave on people because that
Yeah.
is not only it creates a ripple effect. And it's
I
not just
agree.
you that you're affecting people around you. That shit could blow back on your own children. You never know because you don't know what's going to happen once you get that ball rolling. And until people realize that, it's always going to be like this because it's all about me, I, self gratification, and self like self gratification. We just gonna leave it
Yeah.
at that.
I think people took the self care to a different level. They took it beyond self care. It's just selfishness.
Exactly. Complete selfishness. Complete selfishness. And it's all right to be selfish every now and again for the sake of your own peace and sanity. There's
Right, for
nothing wrong with being
protection. Right,
selfish.
for
But to take that
protection.
shit to an extreme is just, you're never supposed to be in an extreme of anything. You're always supposed to walk the middle path. Always.
Right.
Always supposed to walk the middle path. You may have to lean this way or lean that way every now and again, but you're always supposed to walk that straight path. And once you start veering off that path is when all types of fuck shit happen.
Yeah, like, all right, let me go back to the cooking. I don't mean to beat on this, but it's just beyond me. Like, I think it's selfish if you're at home all day,
And you
all
don't cook for
day.
your mate.
Right, you don't cook for your mate, and even if you don't know how, or if you or what if you just don't get dinner on the table, period. Even if you gotta go to your mother cook it, but you get it on the table, okay, all right, fine. You got the food on the table. But the fact that you've been at home all day and you feel like it's not your job
My
or
thing
it's not
is
your
what
role, or if you feel like, oh well, he got with me and he knew it was like this.
but that's not the
I
point.
think
You
that's selfish though.
look. My
Yeah,
thing,
cuz
my next question is, well, what the fuck did you eat all day? You made sure you ate right.
exactly.
You
That's the
made sure you
selfish
ate
part.
right. You ain't have no ability to provide food for yourself because you're home all day, so you ain't working. So they provided the ability for you to eat right.
Right.
Why can't
Right.
you do the same for them?
Right. And like Queen said, well, how about the bed is still not made?
I
Everything's
mean,
still disheveled.
I mean, I'm liable to lay in my bed all day. I may
No,
get
no,
out of
no.
it for
But
like a couple
I'm
hours.
saying they out of the bed. They just leave it like that.
Oh yeah,
They ain't
no.
even in the they yeah, and it's like, ah man, like what happened to the bed? Like you
Listen,
I
it's
just
just
don't understand. People really be like, that's not my responsibility, but you're in a partnership. Like
it
that's
is your
I,
responsibility to
right.
show appreciation to your partner.
Exactly.
That is your responsibility. And if cooking that person a meal because they have been out working all day, it's a show of appreciation, then that's what the fuck you need to do. And that's just on
Exactly.
period.
Exactly.
You have
That's
to show that person that you appreciate them outside of sexual gratification because they can get sex from anywhere, including their fucking selves. They are literally creating sex toys out here that can rival most people. Okay?
oh, I don't know about those, but maybe we gotta do a show
Listen,
on that one.
I be seeing all types of shit on the internet. I saw some shit today. The shit was crazy. It even had like a little button that you could press. It was like a fake vagina, and it had a little button you could press at the bottom, and then a fake squirt. And it was a mess. It was a mess. And it had like a
Wow.
little it had like a little stand at the top where you could put your phone so you could watch your porno and get your yeah. It was a mess.
Wow.
I listen. I send you the video because that shit was crazy. I can't. That's
Queen
that's
said
a
she seen it too. It must be
that's a
popular.
that's a NSFW video, okay? And
Wow.
but yeah, like they're creating whole sex dolls. Like there is ways that you can
So
get your sexual
what's
gratification.
wow, so what's going I hope people don't turn to that because it's like now you're not built you really not built like that's taken out of the humanity. You're not connecting
Listen,
with anybody. You're not really,
that's where it's going.
and it's crazy because I'm thinking like with my grandparents, like if the step was broken in the house, my grandfather was never like, "Oh, that ain't my problem."
He went and
My grand
fixed it.
exactly, or the boiler. He's in the basement doing stuff to the boiler. He never said to my grandmother, "Oh, that's not my problem."
Listen, even
And
if
it's
you
these relationships that I see like that. I'm like, wow, like I don't even know how to do no boiler stuff, but that's like my part where the PSCNG people give me the
right,
tutorial and I'm like down there
if
every
you
2 weeks
can't
doing
do it
whatever I
yourself,
gotta do.
listen, if you can't do it yourself, you at least got the problem handled. And that's what
Right,
I'm saying.
right.
Like
That's right.
even if you don't know how to cook, you could learn. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You could get somebody to help you. Shit. You like you said, take it to your mama house. Ma, can you cook this for me so that way I can have it? Or can you show me how to do this?
Right,
It's plenty
right.
of ways to solve the problem. Like even if you fucking ordered
Yeah.
some shit and ordered
And
some
plated
catering
it.
and had the
Right, right,
shit
right.
there when they got home. But to come home to
Exactly.
absolutely nothing
And now you gotta argue
on why
because
you ain't got no food.
Right.
Now you
At the
hangry. You
right.
hungry and angry. You hungry and now you angry because ain't no food there. Like that, it's just is listen, I could go on about this for forever. Like it's just simple selfish shit. Like why even get in a relationship?
Right.
You
Right.
literally just got in a relationship so that way nobody could call you lonely, old, and bitter. But you're not lonely, old, and bitter if you know that you are better off by yourself than you are in a partnership. You were just living your truth. Live your fucking truth. If you know you
Exactly.
don't have the emotional or physical capacity to care about another person just as much, if not sometimes more, than you do yourself, you don't need to be with nobody. You need to be alone. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that means that more than likely you'll never have sex, or you'll have sex with people that come and go. But that's the life that you choose. It's consequences to every choice.
Hmm.
There's consequences to every choice. Everybody's not meant to be married. Everybody is not meant to be in a relationship. And that does not mean
Wow.
that there's something wrong with you. You are who
Wow.
you are.
Wow. But we meant to be social with each other
Yeah, you
though.
you
Even
can
even
be
though, like you
social.
said, I agree. It may not necessarily be in a commitment with somebody, but and I think some people don't understand that either. They think they want to be in a commitment until they realize, okay, it's work.
It's a lot of work.
And then like, I don't
It's
want to do this.
it's a lot of work to
And that's
choose.
why they have prostitutes though.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to choose your person over and over every day. It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot. No matter, and no matter who it is, there's always going to be a different type of work. You have to figure out what work you're willing to do to be with this person and what work you're not willing to do. And if the not list gets longer than the do list, then it's time to separate. It's nothing wrong with that either. It hurts less when you let go.
Mm. Let me hit one of Queen's comments. She said that what do y'all think about a person you're with that doesn't interact with your children?
You don't need to be with that person.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because that's
If you
like
can't
a part of
interact with my
you.
kids, you can't interact with me. My children
Yeah.
are literally one half of me.
And I've seen that where people really try to be with the parent and not the kids. You gotta be with everybody. You
Everybody.
got that's the package deal. That's how I think.
No,
Like that's
that
the
you ain't gonna
package
hurt
deal.
my baby's feelings. I have my babies feeling like it's something wrong with them because you don't want to interact with them. You're not
Right.
gonna do that. You're not gonna have my children growing up with the self-worth and self-esteem issue because you want to be a fucking asshole. It number one, it listen.
And then that's hard too when you have a kid and you're dating or you're trying to mate up with somebody or partner up with somebody because you have to make sure this person is a fit with your kid too.
Right.
And you don't want to just have a whole bunch of people around your kids either.
Thanks.
So I don't, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, but like I agree, if you can't interact with the kids, then that's
You
it.
can't
It's
interact with me. And
right.
and and
It's a
and and,
package
and
deal.
to me, if you're around if you're around me and you don't want to interact with my children, I'm gonna automatically think that you just here for a good time and not a long time anyway. So I'm gonna move
Yeah.
accordingly. I'm gonna move
Wow.
accordingly. It'll never be nothing serious between us because I know you seen these motherfuckers when you walked in. You can't miss them.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't want to be bothered with somebody, if you don't want to be bothered with
And
kids, don't date
yeah,
nobody with kids.
and you know what? It bothers me too when I see parents like that really consider not having their kids around because they want to get with this person. And I'm like,
No,
that
no, you no, no.
though. I'm not saying you're on that, but I've
Yeah,
seen
no,
it
I'm
where
not. Oh,
people
I know you
really
not saying I'm on that, but
no,
I don't understand that.
have you
Like,
seen right? Like that's crazy to me. That's weird.
it is weird. Like, yes, you are entitled to have love. Yes, you should find love. Yes, your happiness matters. But if being happy means to ignore your legacy, because that's what your children are, they are your
Right.
legacy. If being
Right.
happy means ignoring your legacy, then you are not happy, you're just filling a void. and
Man,
your
and it
children and your children will be affected by it. They
yeah,
will be
yeah.
affected by it because they will want to know what is wrong with me
Yeah.
that my parent feels like I don't need love too.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
need love, if you need companionship, if you need security, what make you think that child don't need that too? Whether
And,
their
and
other
they and they
parent is in
need
their life
yeah.
or not,
They need it the most.
they need it the most. They need as many people, as many adult figures around them to love and nurture and support them as possible.
Right.
Which kills me when people when men be like, I don't want no other man around my kids. What? So you don't never want your kids to see their mother being loved properly. You just want me single forever while you just go off and do whatever the fuck you want.
I don't
Huh?
get that either. I don't get that either. Yeah.
Children need to see their parents in loving relationships, and even if they're not together. They
Yeah.
need to see that. They need to see that dynamic because that shapes how they show up in the world in a romantic aspect. They
Yep. I
need to
agree.
see that. They need to.
I agree.
If they
I
don't
agree with
see
that.
that, you create children that don't know how to function in a relationship.
And
You're
then
damaging them before they can even get out in the world.
right. And it makes it seem like having kids with people and just leaving is normal too. Like
Right.
they'll think like, okay, this is what it is.
Right.
You
Because
you
that's
don't you
all I
don't have
see.
to live with nobody. You just have the kids and go about your business.
That's
So
exactly
yeah,
what's gonna happen.
yeah,
They're not gonna believe in marriage. They're not gonna believe in the union. They're not gonna believe in a
yeah.
partnership because that's not what
Right.
they were shown in their home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That y'all, the people need to realize that children are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. We think that they don't pay attention. We think that they don't formulate their own thoughts and opinions on
They
things.
do though.
We think that they aren't constantly learning from us, and they
Mhm.
are.
Yeah,
You have to show your children that it is all right to be loved. It's
yeah.
all right to be in a union with somebody. You have to show them that they too, when they get older, are deserving of love despite whatever happens in their life.
Right.
If you don't show them that, we're gonna have a bunch of fuck boys and city girls running around here.
Yeah. I'm so tired of this. Like it's just like we need an intervention. I agree with Queen. She said this is a great topic that needs to be spoken on. And then hold up, Anthony Washington says, what happens when the kids are the problem in the relationship?
You gonna have to get your kids in check because that happens too.
Wow.
That happens too.
Wow.
You have to teach your children that they are in a child's place. They don't dictate your life
Hmm. That's a good question.
because
Cause
that is
yeah,
a great question because
you'll
it
get
is
kids that
sometimes
try
like
to
that.
sabotage.
Some kids will actually try to sabotage. You really need to talk to your children and find out why they're not happy about the partnership. And if it's not a
Mm.
valid reason, no more than how they feel, because a lot of kids don't like to see their parents separated. My
Right.
daughter was like that. My oldest daughter was like that for a long time.
Wow.
She was mad that me and her father wasn't together. She wanted us to be together, so she would try to
Wow.
sabotage our relationships. And I told her, I said, Mommy and Daddy are better off apart than we are
Right.
together.
And
You have to find
like
out.
having that conversation is hard, but I think being truthful with your kids about not being with the other parent is important too.
You
And
don't have to
just
tell them
don't you
everything, but you
right,
do have to
you
be
yeah,
truthful.
right, and explain like, okay, yeah, we're not together because yeah, kids do want their parents together.
I don't think it's a kid on the planet
And
that don't want their parents together unless the parents were abusive.
right, right. And yeah, you gotta be honest with the kids and be like, look, it didn't work out, but we're making parenting you work out.
Right.
And that because that's what's ultimately important, but when yeah, other people come in, it's yeah, I agree, it's hard to have relationships with a kid because yeah, you gotta make sure everybody is a good fit.
And you also have to you if it's not a valid if it's not a valid reason for them not liking that person, you have
Mm-hmm.
to tell that child at the end of the day, if they're not abusing you, if they're not hurting you, if they're not disrespecting you, I have to do what's right for me.
Right.
Because people would like to believe that once you become a parent, you stop being a person.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a mother. I'm a mother. Yeah, but you're a woman too.
Yeah.
You're a father, but you're a man too. Your
Yeah.
personal needs don't stop just because you got another human floating on the planet. You
Yeah,
get what I'm
that's true.
saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
if you are not happy, if you are not, once again, it goes back to relationships. It doesn't always have to be intimate. If you're not happy, you can't pour happiness into your children. If you're
That's
not
true.
secure, you can't pour security into your children. You know what I'm saying? You have to do what's right for you. So if the child is not being abused,
Mm-hmm.
disrespected, or harmed in any way, they have to understand that your relationship is so that you can be happy and therefore be able to show up for them and make them happy.
Wow. Let me see. Queen says, "What about you co-parenting and you're one of the parents' partner doesn't accept the biological parent. Hold up. What about you co-parenting?"
And you're one of the parents' partners doesn't
Yeah.
accept. Listen, then that motherfucker gotta go. Once again, if
Wait.
if ain't nobody being abused, disrespected, or harmed, you can't get mad at who that motherfucker laid down and had a kid with. That was before you.
Right, right.
You can't get mad. Uh, uh, you can't take that back. Because if it wasn't for that person that they got with and had that baby wouldn't be here. That'd be a whole different person. It'd be a whole different baby.
I agree. You can't go back and say, all right, how about I pick this other person that I'm gonna
Right.
get along
Like
with to be the other parent, the other bi nah.
if you
It's
don't like
stuck.
the other parent, that's a you problem. Because you didn't lay down with that other person and had that baby. Your
Right,
partner and that person laid down and had that baby.
right.
You don't like that motherfucker because you either feel intimidated or
Mm.
threatened some type of way. And that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Now, as
Yeah.
long as that person is respecting the boundaries of your relationship while also interacting with that parent, then that's a fucking you problem. Now, if the
Mm.
person is disrespecting your relationships with the boundaries that they keep around that other parent, then you need to tell that motherfucker they need to go back and be with that other parent.
Ooh.
Because
Ooh,
that needs to
that's
happen
like
too. You did that other parent has to understand that you are in a relationship too.
right.
The way that they showed up before that relationship and the way they show up after that relationship is going to be two different things. And that's just period. Because there's another dynamic involved. See, a lot of people think that just because they have children with people that they have control over them forever and always. And you don't have control over shit but that little motherfucker that you pushed out or helped get here. You don't
Mm.
have control over that other human anymore because you're no longer in a relationship with that person. Once y'all go separate ways, that's it.
Yeah.
Like I saw a post the other day on Facebook that said, "Oh, it was a guy. It's a viral post and they changed the shit everywhere. But they was like, oh, my woman needs to understand that if my baby mother need help, then I'm always going to help her. If she need her bills paid, if she need a car, if she need this, if she need that, she's going to get it. And if they don't like it, they can just leave." I said, well, you just need to be with that motherfucker.
Wow. This is something Anthony Washington saying something similar. He's saying he says a man could do everything to assist with the mother and helping her to raise her children by providing and build that relationship with the kid, but the child feels it's nothing personal. However, sabotage the relationship because they feel they don't need a substitute. Oh, this back to the kid. They don't need a substitute parent because they feel they're grown but still want the mother to take care of them.
Well, then that's on the mother to make sure that she need to understand that that motherfucker is grown and you not coming in between my relationship just because you feel you don't get. They don't gotta be a substitute parent.
And they not.
You grown.
Yeah.
You grown.
They need to
You
go
grown.
have their
See,
own
and
life.
and that's another thing too. The parents that be like, "Oh, my kid come before any relationship." Well, then you need to be in a relationship with your child.
Well, I mean, that's a different kind of
That is a
relationship.
different kind of thing, but it's the same thing
But I know,
because
I got it's people that do that, and
my
it's
kid become before any man. My kid become before any woman. Well, then you need to be single until that motherfucker is grown and out your life, or you just need to be in a relationship with them because that's pretty much what you're doing. You're doing an emotional incest.
mm,
You are stagnating yourself and that child with an unhealthy codependent relationship just because you birthed them. That's emotional incest.
wow. I never heard that one.
That's like with
Emotional.
the mothers. Oh, my king, my king. No, that's your son. It's not your man.
Yeah,
Like, you have mama's boys that can't do
yeah,
nothing without their mama approval. Emotional incest.
yeah.
That's what that is.
Wow.
You're stunting your children by making your children your everything. They're not your everything, they're your children.
Mm,
You need to establish relationships outside of the one that you have with your child.
right.
Else that's what happens. You become dependent on that child for all of your fucking needs of feeling loved,
Wow.
feeling wanted, and things of that nature. And that child depends on you. You never cut the fucking umbilical cord. That child stays forever a child, even as an adult. They have the emotional intelligence of a child and cannot function in
Mm,
society without their mommy or their daddy.
wow. That's deep.
Y'all might as well
That's
just move in
deep.
together and just forever be together.
Well, they do live with the mother.
No, no, no. I mean forever. I mean forever
They do.
until that parent
They're like
die.
40.
Like,
They're like
yeah,
40 and the
yeah.
mother's still making them a plate. Now that okay, wait, you don't be relying on your
Still
mother for your
ironing their
plate.
clothes. Still telling them what to do. You are grown ass adults.
Still picking their women.
Oh,
I
my
don't
son.
like her. I don't like her.
I don't
Get
like
it?
her. I don't give a fuck. I ain't fucking you. I'm fucking your son and he loves it. He loves it. I do shit you could never do and he likes it. Fuck you talking about.
You can't put a plate on the table.
All you can do is feed him and clothe him. I do everything else he likes. Get over it, Barbara. Like the fuck? Like that shit is
Oh
so.
man, yeah, that right there, that's crazy. Now I see those dudes
And,
too, and
and,
I
and, and,
just be
and see,
like,
the the part that pissed me off was the
you
key
live
word
with your
grown.
mother,
Yeah,
like
no, the key
Norman
word was
Bates.
grown. I expect sabotaging behavior to come from children. But once you become grown, you better get the fuck on. Like I'm telling you, and I expect children behavior from children. Once you grown, you better get the fuck on. Okay? Go
Wow.
on with yourself. You grown. Go out there, mind your own business, get your own family, bring me my grandbabies, and shut the fuck up. That's where
Oh,
the mother is supposed to step. That's when the parent is supposed to step in and be like, all right now, know your boundaries.
that's true, especially when they grow and they,
They grown. You
get to a
expect that shit
certain
from
age,
kids.
at least high school,
And
you
kids and
push them off
teenagers.
like, okay, because
Yeah, you
they
expect that shit.
experimenting with other kids and
Exactly. You expect that shit from kids and teenagers because they don't have the emotional they don't have the emotional capacity to understand what's going on.
right.
But if you grown and out here fucking, you better get the fuck out of my face.
Queen said, I always tell mothers you don't know your kids unless you slept with them, and I pray you never do that.
Listen, you don't know your child like I know your child because you ain't fucking them.
Oh
You ain't
God.
got to look at them every day. I do.
Abbott's neighbor said their moms do that because she's trying to make up for what they messed up on when they were babies. Wow, you can't go
Well, it's
back.
it's too late for that. It's too
It's
late. You can't go
you gotta
backwards.
let them go. You
You
gotta
have to. The
let them be an
mistakes have
adult.
already the mistakes have already been done. You cannot go backwards. You cannot. All you can do is learn from it and move the fuck on. But you should
Yeah,
have been correcting that shit while they were still babies. You don't correct shit from babies as a grown up. That's too much goddamn time done passed. Go on with
yeah.
yourself. Go on with yourself, Barbara. Go on. He mine now. Go on about your business.
Miss Barbara calling your phone. Is my son there? Tell
Nope.
him he need to come home.
No, he don't. He is home. He is
Tell,
home. He
tell,
he likes it here.
tell him I washed his favorite shirt and put it on his bed.
Like if you don't get the fuck on.
Anthony says kids be wanting to move their relationships into your home and not want the responsibility doing it on their own. And it's always the mother at times co signing the negative behavior. I've seen this
Listen,
too.
listen, listen. It's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah.
It's hard out here for a pimp. Okay? I'm to be honest, I'm one of them people that feel like kids should not be moving out of the home until they're married. Like literally, like on your wet night, you go to fuck on to your house. You know what I'm saying? Because you
I
married,
like that idea. I like
but
that
also
idea.
we need to be setting our kids up for that point.
Yeah.
That's the thing too.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with a child being grown enough to fuck still under your roof, but you have to set that child up so that way when they are in a serious relationship or when they are married that they can go to fuck on to their place. See, in other cultures, when their children get married, they allow them to stay in the home for like the first year or two until they get themselves together, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, and move out. And then usually they be moving into their own homes. We the only people that think it's right to kick our kids out at 18. I don't know what the fuck you think a child got at 18.
I
Unless
agree
you done
with
set
that.
that child
Yeah.
up. Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you done set that child up to have a 750, 850 credit score, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, 20, 50, $100,000 in the bank, and a residence, and a car, and a good job, and all of that shit. Why are you kicking this child out at 18? I don't care if they're fucking or not.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That's like you said, the 18-year-old is not prepared
At
to
all.
just go out there, live on their own. They have to build up. They have to, figure out what they want to do in life. Are they going to go to college or are they going to be an entrepreneur or jump into a career? Whatever you guided them to. And that's the crazy thing too. Parents really don't see a reflection of themselves in their children at that point. This is what you raised. This is what you built up and produced. You didn't teach your kid about moving out and all that other stuff when they were in ninth grade to tell them, look, you got 4 years and you're out of here. You just wait until they graduate. Oh, you're a senior now. You're
You grown,
grown.
get out.
Get out. And it's like, do you want this kid to be homeless on the street? Do you want them to be out there panhandling or
And
jumping
and you
into street life and selling drugs?
and you want to know what they say?
What?
Oh, well, it happened to me and I figured it out. Did
No.
you? Did you figure it
No.
out? Did you
No.
figure out that that was fucked up? Did
Yeah.
you? Did you? Did you? Because that's
Yeah.
fucked up. You're not
Yeah.
setting that child up to be ready to go out into the world at 18, but you're expecting them to get out there with no prior knowledge,
Nothing. Nothing. They
out
just
on a
going
whim
out
of a friend.
homeless. Homeless.
And then, especially these days with the fucking apartments, one bedroom apartments, 16, 17, 18, $1,900. And they need credit and they need references
Yeah.
and they need all of this
Yeah.
shit. And I'm just like,
Work
so what the fuck
experience.
are they supposed to do?
Pay stubs.
Pay stubs. They gotta have a job for 3 years. The job gotta make 3 times the rent. What fucking 18-year-old you know making that type of money? Minimum wage is only what, 12, 13, $14. That ain't even
Mm.
enough. They said in order for you to afford a 2 bedroom apartment in New Jersey, you need to be making, no, you gotta work the minimum wage. You gotta work 100 hours a week.
100 hours a
A
week.
100 hours a week at the
That's
minimum
like
wage.
60 more plus added to the 40.
That's two jobs. That's two full-time
Yeah,
jobs
that's
plus the
two
part-time job.
jobs.
That means that they gotta work fucking 20 hours a day.
You'll be, come on, they work it. That's working to death. Literally. Literally.
And you expect your 18-year-old to work themselves to death. On top of, God forbid, if they actually in college,
Wow, that's why they doing the drugs. They stressed out.
stress the fuck out. Okay?
Wow, that's crazy. Come on, you gotta
Listen,
prepare these kids. You can't
listen.
just be putting them
My
out on the
daughter,
street.
my daughter is 20 years old and her ass occupies the third floor of my house. She goes to school.
Mm-hmm.
She got her little part-time job because I told her don't be working full-time and going to school full-time. She pays
Right.
no bills. She does absolutely nothing but go to school, work, and be with her friends. Like a 20-year-old is supposed to fucking do.
Right. Right. Right.
You got to get them time to figure it out. I know when I was 18, listen, baby.
Man, let me see. When I was 18, okay, I went to junior college. I didn't move out. I wasn't moving out. I think you know what? I wasn't stupid. I wasn't stupid. My mother did. She did. I did have now. My grandmother was from the South, so you start working when you like 5 years old.
Listen, you ain't got to tell me.
But I started working when I was 14, getting a check or whatever. And that did teach me about money and all that other stuff and responsibilities, being on time and doing labor in exchange for money to basically buy things that I needed. But I still wasn't prepared
No.
to move out at 18, and I wasn't going to the point where I stopped working. Like, yeah, I'm not working there. I don't have no money. So I can't.
I'm
You
poor,
want me to be
mother.
on the street? My mother's like, yeah, the dog. I'm like, yeah. So by law, but
Yeah, by law.
by law,
And then the only thing they
but
could do
by
at
mine,
18,
I'm still your child, and you got to take care of me
listen,
forever.
the only thing you could do at 18 is sign up for some fucking debt. That's all you could do. And vote.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Vote. Vote. Yeah. Right. But yeah, like I definitely wasn't prepared, and I wasn't trying to go nowhere, so I lingered around until I graduated. Um, I went to Rutgers University, lived on campus, got to see what that felt like. Then graduated, and I felt like I went back, stayed a little bit, and I was like, I don't want to stay here because I don't want to follow the rules. I want my own rules. So I went out, rented a room or whatever, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I like this. But then it's just the room, and I'm like, this was when it was affordable. I don't know, a room is probably $1,000 a month now.
It definitely is.
But then I ended up getting a job, decent job, the job that I'm doing now, and I went and rented an apartment. This was when rent was like $850 a month for one
Right.
bedroom.
Right.
And I got a taste of that life and what it felt like. And I said, oh, I like this. Oh, I'm never going back there. Are you like, what? And she wanted me to pay rent to live there, and I can't do what I. But I was like, what, 24?
Right.
I wasn't
You were an
18.
actual
No.
adult. Like you were an
Right.
actual adult.
Right. Like, yeah, like 22, 24, something like that. But I wasn't 18. I wasn't even 19 or 20.
Right. I told you where my 20-year-old is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Her
So,
ass is upstairs.
yep. Yep.
And
I
she
got
mad at
you.
me now because I be like, where? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Abbotsford said research is showing that's not good for our generation. They're not learning how to work hard. What, moving out when they're 18? What,
I mean,
elaborate or
we not supposed to be working hard anyway. We supposed to be working smarter. You ain't supposed to work yourself into the damn grave. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
So
Rooms are now 1,200 furnished. All you took, damn, 1,200
twelve
for a room.
hundred.
Now I was paying 400 a month when I did the room. It was 400 a month, and we kind of, cleaned up after ourselves. We had a little schedule, but
1,200. That's you could
wow.
get a studio for 1,200.
No, you can't, because if the room is 1,200, the studio
Listen,
got to be
listen,
like
listen, listen. I didn't say it
eighteen
was gonna
hundred.
be the. I didn't say it was gonna be the best studio.
Wow. Well, you get an attic,
That part.
somebody attic or basement.
The studio literally be a room with a kitchenette to the side.
For real. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy
1,200.
out here. It's crazy out here.
Wow.
And then, like I said, people be wanting you to make 3 times the rent. You gotta have references. You gotta be working at your job for 3 years. What fucking 18-year-old got all of that?
Yeah, that's too
You setting
much,
them up for
man.
failure. You setting them up for
That's too
failure. You
much.
setting up. You setting them up to be the unwanted guest in somebody else's house. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy. What else? Abbotsford neighbors said, in my culture, we live with families until I lived with my in laws for 13 years. 3 kids later, I have free built in babysitter, chef, and a housekeeper. We love it.
See what I mean?
I know your daughter is she's going to appreciate it because I couldn't even imagine. Like, I know people who said they've been out of their parents' house since they were like 16, 17, 18. And I'm like, wow, like that's a tough life.
It is a tough life. I've been out my mama house since I was 16, and I swore,
Wow.
and I
That's hard,
swore,
man.
I swore I was never gonna do that shit to my kids. Never. They ain't never gotta leave until they're ready to leave, and I
Right.
gotta determine that they ready to leave, not them.
Wow, man, that's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot to put on a child.
Like, I wasn't leaving because I knew, like, what I'm supposed to do? Live on the street? Are you crazy?
Live pillar to post.
And I had to, break it down to my mother. Look, I didn't ask to be here.
And that's the thing. They don't ask
Like,
to be here.
and
They
you
don't
want me
ask
to.
for none of this shit. So if you don't set them up for that,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I, as a parent, like, yeah, like I'm preparing, making that path. But yeah, 18, no. And plus, I don't like the irresponsibility of that age.
Listen,
You're not ready to live on your own.
listen,
18,
listen,
no.
listen.
No.
I gotta I gotta fuss with this motherfucker to get her up to go to class that she paying for.
Wow.
I'm like, we might as well still be in high school. God damn it, get your ass up. This ain't free school no more. You paying for this shit. Like, and
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
20. You know what I'm saying? They're still they brains. It ain't rapping. It ain't rapping.
Let me see. Anthony says you have to start preparing a child from childbearing age 10 years old. He must be from the South. Instead of spending money on name brand clothing, we have to start investing in our children, true, by teaching them how to save money by opening up an account, giving them personal responsibilities, chores, yes, education, personal hygiene, educational choices and decisions. He says when his son turned 18, he was finishing up his last year of school, decided college wasn't for him, and started working on a career. He gave him a year of free rent, and we can't see the rest. A year of free rent. Okay.
Mm. What's a
Wow.
year up? Let me show you.
He said the son started working on a career, so maybe he was in was construction or something like that. Cause I know they start making a lot
I just want
after
to
a
know what the
year.
hell is
So,
free rent when it's your child.
oh yeah, that too.
This ain't no motherfucking roommate. You ain't subletting your apartment. That's your child.
It's an Airbnb for kids.
It's your child. The fact that people,
Man,
the fact that
he
parents
gotta
think
hit him.
that they are entitled to charge their children rent is wild to me.
His son gotta hit him like I hit my mother. I didn't ask to be here.
They didn't. They didn't ask to
But
be
I'm
here.
thankful to be here though. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, but that
Right.
worked. That worked. That won the argument. And then I was like, and plus I'm in school. I don't have a job. What you want me to do? And then she like, oh, okay.
Where am I supposed to go? Listen, but yeah, no, I think the way that we
Yeah, I agree with you on that though. We shouldn't be pushing our kids out into this cold world, man. Like at 18 to do everything on their own now. At 18, all right, you need to be washing your own clothes. You
right.
need to be, you know,
Listen. I don't do nothing for this Negro. You hear me? Nothing.
right.
The food is there. You got to cook it your goddamn
Right,
self.
right,
The
right.
washing
That
machine and
too.
dryer is there. You're washing your own clothes and shit. You know, she buy her own shit. She pay her own bills. She transports herself back and forth to work. She's
That right,
responsible for
right,
herself. She's learning responsibility. She done had summer jobs, all that good stuff. I've had very little financial input with her since she was about 14. You know what I'm saying? But this is not the climate to just be pushing your kids out with absolutely nothing. I want her to be able to go to school with no debt. So
right,
that's what I want her to focus on. Focus on getting a degree with very little to no debt.
right.
Do that. And
Absolutely.
then
I
we
agree
can
with
do the
that
rest.
one. I agree with that one. Abbotsford neighbor said, "Mine will pay rent. Mine, she's a land. I'm a landlord with several buildings. I don't make it easy for them. Life is difficult."
Life is difficult, so you should make it easy for them. You should always be your children's safe haven.
Now
Always.
I agree with that part too. I agree with that part too. I don't like this tough parenting business. I'm not saying coddle your child and be like that mother with the 40-year-old
Still
doing
living in the
everything.
basement.
Right, right,
You can teach your children that you can teach your children financial responsibility. You can teach them money management. You can teach them how to show up in the world as an adult without robbing them of the safe space that you're supposed to be.
mm-hmm. Oh, Anthony clarifies. He said he gave his son a year of free rent so that he could save money.
Then it ain't free rent. He just living in your house.
Hey, that's what he said. And Anthony says the benefit of preparing our children for the world is that it's easier to start early while your parents are still alive. So if you fall, you still have your parents to support you, because what happens when you don't have your parents? I agree with that, yeah. But that's what you just said. You should be that safe haven for your kids. Cause even when I moved back, I moved out, um, I had fell on tough times, moved back in with my parents, and it was that was easy. And then for like, I think I lived with them for like 2 years or something like that, and got back on my feet, and I've never been back since.
Right. And
So,
that's how
and
it
that's how it
should
should
be.
go. Right,
That's
right.
how it should go. But we got to make sure that the kids have a plan. And
Mhm.
I don't know about y'all, but teenagers got the fucking attention span of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Especially these generation of kids, because they have social media and TikTok, and they get their dopamine hits in 30-second spurts. These kids got very short attention spans. Like, my daughter had a plan for what she wanted to do when she was younger, and I support that plan, whatever that plan is. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because that's what she wants to do for her life. My job as a parent is to support it. It's not for me to tell her what to do, except for how to best maximize what she has and where she wants to go. You get what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
as she wants her degree, okay, well, you stay your ass home, you get a part-time job so you can take care of yourself. You focus
Right.
on your school. You make sure you get good grades so you can get those scholarships. Keep that financially. Do what you need to do. Go to this school, and this school said they'll take you for free because you went to this school. So that's what you do.
Right.
And that's how you get to where you need to go without any debt. You know what I'm saying? She says she wants to be, after she gets her degree, she wants to be a realtor. Okay, well, this is
Mhm.
what you need to do. I know some people. We got some family. I got some friends that are realtors. They're, you know what I'm saying? I'll see
Right.
if they can mentor you and whatever, whatever. So that way, when you get to that point, you could go do that. After she does her little, when she's eligible to become a broker, she wants to be a broker, start her own shit. Okay, no problem. This is
Right.
what you need to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? If this is what you want to do, this is how you get there. Make sure you do your best, work hard, and get there.
Right. You
That's
not
what
out
you're
there
supposed
twerk.
to
You
do.
not out there twerking with her.
We ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Life is hard.
It is. It is.
Children have their own version of hard. Just because they're children does not mean that their life is just automatically easy. These children go through a lot of shit every day because they're dealing with children that don't have parents as a safe space, that don't have
Yeah.
the things that they have. And these kids come to school, and they have to deal with them. They have to go out in the world without you
Right.
and navigate that world. So it's not easy for them just because they ain't paying bills.
That's true. That's true. It's a lot of drug use going on with these kids.
A lot of drug use, a lot of violence. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A lot of bullying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The schools, especially if your kid goes to like a certain school, like Naya went to science. Naya
Mhm.
was burnt the fuck out. She
Mhm.
couldn't, like, her brain after a while started, like, once COVID happened, her brain started getting fried because you know how it is. We went to
Yeah.
university. I would have
Yeah.
rather her going to university, but she didn't want to. She went to science. But it's no different. Just a different name
Right.
on the building. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for her.
Wow.
Like, hard to the point where she, you know what I'm saying, she broke down like after sophomore year and was like, I don't think I want to do this no more. But
Wow.
but we figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I got her the help that she need, and she
Mhm.
left out of school with a 3.7 GPA. She
Nice.
came in as an honor student. She left as an honor student. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? And they got enough trying to navigate their own little world without you.
Right.
They don't
Right.
need to add
Right.
it.
Right.
They don't need to add it. It's already
I
rough.
know. For you to be on their back. Oh, you when you gonna pay me some rent? Like, their child, their child. 18, come on.
They shouldn't even have those type of worries.
They shouldn't. Because when you go out in the world, you got to deal with discrimination,
Sexism, classism.
sexism, all that type of stuff that's out there when you're trying to get a job, zip codes, area codes. I went through that. Now that right there, that was a serious experience for me where I had my parents to fall back on because I'm applying for jobs that I'm qualified for, but I'm not applying from the right zip code or whatever. Like they see Newark and they're like, "Oh no, this person probably is lying on their resume and didn't do all this stuff." Or this person did, but why are they in Newark? Are they must be on some type of drugs or something? No, we don't, they or they might be a criminal, you know. And I was like not getting job opportunities because of that, and I'm like, wow, this is weird. And
But it's
then the
just the
reports
reality of some
that
shit.
is, yeah, it is hard out there. And then the sexism. Now, this they had the women's march like when the women's movement came back out like what 2015, 2016, or something like that, when
Hmm.
they had the Me Too movement.
Right.
But I was caught up in that, like nobody's trying to really give a woman a shot, and then now you get a bunch of crazy women that's in positions of leadership doing crazy stuff. Now it's like, no, we don't want any more women, and
Right. Right.
it's like I got to deal with something some crazy lady did, like Elizabeth Holmes with that fake blood stuff that she did, and she went to jail. I think she went to federal prison, but she was a CEO. She was like one of the, top women CEOs doing crazy stuff, making things up. And yeah, now
All
everybody's
women are looked at bad.
exactly
You
like
know,
this
and
is
it's
why we
already
didn't
bad
want
enough.
women in it. This is why it
Yeah, this is
justifies the
why we
discrimination.
don't want women in high positions and this, and that. You know, basically moving the whole women's movement back 100 feet. So you got you first,
Yeah,
you black.
yeah,
Look,
that's
before you're
right.
male or female, you're black.
Exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Then you from the inner, you from the urban area, and if you just so happen to not be from the urban area, they're still gonna assume you're from an urban area just because you're black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then
And,
you
and my
know,
name is Shakima, like straight from the the door.
listen. When I say
So
I ain't never
it's
been so
like,
happy in my life to be named Carolyn, okay, okay, because they be like, oh, Carolyn, oh, okay, and then you put on the proper voice, and then you get there and they like, oh, yeah, yeah, you thought I was a white
yeah,
girl, yeah,
and, and now they caught out there, but me, they could put my stuff straight in the strutter from the door.
and it and that's what people don't realize. On top of that, you know, it's already a
Yeah,
struggle
so you
being
don't want to
black.
put your kids out there.
Yeah, it's already a struggle being black. And then don't be black and be a high achiever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then
You
don't
doing
don't
too much. Yeah. Yeah.
and now you got to deal with microaggressions in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? Like my daughter, she was working at the mall, right? Working at Kate Spade.
Mm-hmm.
Even part-time, she was like the number 2 seller in the store, number 3 in the region.
Wow.
Part-time. The girl was doing a good like $2,000 a day in sales.
Mm.
And that's just because now you got one of them brains where she can memorize stuff. And she memorized everything about all the different bags and stuff like that. So when people would, and then she's helpful. So she would help people, and that's how she got all her sales.
Mm-hmm.
She used to come home pissed every day because people were stealing her sales.
Wow.
and basically telling her to her face that they were stealing them because she didn't need them, because she was seasonal, so she wasn't getting commission off of them, so she didn't need the sales.
What?
Yeah. And then, she would go to her managers, but her managers were of the lighter end of the color spectrum, and they would ignore her. And it kept going on and on and on until she just found her another job. She went and worked somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
I understand that. Don't be nowhere where they don't value you.
Right.
You one of the top sellers in the store, to a top in the region. You making them look good, but they treating you like shit. Nah. And I
Right.
told her that. I said, fuck that job. Fuck that job. Fuck them people. Go get you another job. You know what I'm saying? Or just
Mhm.
or you have a trade that you do well, do that shit on the side, make your own money, work your own hours, and still go to school. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one works for
Wow.
you.
Now what if she was 18,
Out
out
on
of
her
the
own.
house, right?
Yeah,
Living
out
on
on her
her
own,
own
paying bills. Now she's
and
stuck in
had
this fucking job just so she could
mhm.
survive. Nah, nope.
Yep. And that's a good point. So people can see like this is what happens when you push your kids out there and they're not prepared and they're not ready.
You should want more for your kids than what you had to endure.
Exactly.
And
And
I
it's
was one
not
of them kids too. I was one of them kids, but I had to do a lot more cheek biting, because by the time I was 20, I had her.
mhm.
So I had to stay in a lot of places that I didn't want to stay, and used to come home beat down and try down and all that other stuff. And now I'm glad that I'm in a place where I can do what I love, and you know what I'm saying, in a place that values me and respects me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 40 years old. I don't want my child to have to go 20 years, you know what I'm saying, until she gets to that point. I want her there a whole lot quicker. I want that for
Right.
her now. She should not have
Right.
to wait. So I want to see where she's at where she's 40.
Right. And that's how we were, because millennials, and then our kids, we're coming in, we want to go into the world doing what we want to do, that we feel connected to, not just go get a job, scrub some floors. We're not doing that.
That was
And
our
then
that
to
was our parents and our grandparents. That
right.
was their generation, because they had no choice. The
Exactly.
more we get into it, the more we advance forward, the more choices that we have, and the more choices
Yeah.
that we should use.
Yeah, and but there's still barriers for us though. What with those choices, like with my experience, like I was trying to go into corporate, and I'm like, oh no, this like a dog eat dog world. This like being out on the street selling drugs.
Yes. It's no different. It's no different. It's literally no different. I tell people all the time that drug dealers would make the best CEOs, because it's the same shit. It's the
Yeah,
same hustle,
cutthroat,
different product.
back stabbing, lying, cheating, stealing.
Pillaging and plundering, a little
Yeah.
unaliving people on the side. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it is, it's no different. It's
Right.
no
They
different.
they will stress you out. Okay? And somebody have a heart attack and be dead, and they'll go keep on making sales, keep the
Listen,
business
listen.
going.
Your job will be posted before your body be cold.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these kids don't want to deal with that. And I love that for them.
Exactly.
I love it for them.
Exactly. Me
You know what I'm
too.
saying? But I tell them to find what they want to do and do that the best that they can until they can't no more.
Yeah.
Just don't have no plan. You don't want to work for nobody, but you ain't got no plan. Then nah, you're gonna have to figure some shit out. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But I love that for them. If you don't want to go to college, fine. Figure out what you want to do. Do that to the best of your ability. Put your all into it until you can't no more. You know what I'm saying? They have more options. They should have more options than what we
Yes.
have.
I agree.
Why do
I
we want
agree.
to keep why do we keep pushing down this slave mentality, this hustle till you die culture, this do what you supposed to do, what you gotta do until you do what you can't and do what you want to do? I
Right.
don't no, 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 no.
And I don't think that addresses laziness, because I see some people try to, you know, say, oh, the kids are lazy. They're lazy. If they're lazy, what did you expose them to?
Are they lazy, or are you just
Or
mad
they,
they not doing what you want them to?
that too. That too.
That's my first question.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
they lazy, or are they just not doing what you want them to?
That's true. That's true.
Because those is two different things. If they lazy, then why didn't you instill some type of work ethic into them? And then if they not lazy, they just don't want to do what you want them to do. Why are you trying to force your child into a life that is not theirs? Why are you not paying attention to your child? Why are you not playing into
Exactly. In
your
their
child's
interests.
strengths?
Yep.
Either way, it's
Play.
bad parenting.
We gotta do a show on that one. But
Listen,
Anthony got something for you. He said, Carolyn, it sounds like you were very interested in your child and assisted with her growth. That's what parents are supposed to do, to help and prepare her and make a lot of positive points saying on your child with guidance and assistance, great parenting information for mothers and fathers and helping our children. And we have to understand that every situation or child isn't the same.
it
That's
isn't.
true. And
It
this is
isn't.
the part of about this goes into our conversation of healthy life partnerships. That
Because
your relationship with your child, that's the life partnership too.
yeah, it's all the relationships that we have with our friends, with our family, with our coworkers, with people that we interact with. And it's different types of relationships, but they're all
Right.
relationships. Nonetheless, anytime you interact with another person outside of yourself, that is a relationship.
Yeah.
Strangers in the street, cops, it's all the same. Your doctor, all of it, it's all the same. Some things are just universal. And but with your children, you parent the child that they are, and not
Yeah.
the child that you were,
Yeah. Or the child you want them to be.
or the child you want them to be.
Yeah, I see. We got to stop doing that too. I see some parents, they want their kids to be something that the kids aren't, instead of, like you said, playing to that child's strength.
And then they don't realize that they create so much stress and pressure on them children,
Yep.
and they be so sad, and that be another reason why they be doing drugs. Like, y'all
Yeah.
have no idea how many of y'all kids be out here doing drugs. Like,
Mm.
for real. You know what
I
I'm saying?
see,
It's
and they smoking on their
Yeah.
way to school, and I'm like, damn, is life that bad?
Right. Listen.
They up there
But
like
then but then I had to realize that when we was in high school, we had some friends that used to smoke.
their
You
life
know what
was
I'm saying?
their life was bad though. The people I knew that used to smoke, they were raising their siblings. They
Raising
were,
themselves.
yes. So that's what when I see these kids, I'm like, but their parents dropped them off. As soon as the parent drive away, they like smoking. I'm like, okay, the parent is in the picture, obviously.
Yeah, but they could be a shitty parent that just in the picture.
Yeah, yeah, I
They could
feel
be putting off
bad.
that picture of being a perfect parent.
I'm like, oh my gosh, and they don't even know their kids smoke. And if they smoking, they doing drugs too. Some of them, you can tell. You can tell. I'm like, wow. And the parents, some of the parents, they're just at work and saying they're at work all the time, but still,
You
that's
gotta
your
pay attention to your
responsibility.
kids.
Yeah. Like Ramona said, it's crazy. These kids today get high with their parents. Oh my gosh. So they stressed out with the parents. And then, so what do you expect? What do a parent expect if they're doing that with their child?
Right.
They're not gonna be, some like entrepreneur or whatever definition of success they have if they're doing this with their kids.
Right.
It's crazy. Anthony said
Listen.
kids raising the kids, the blind leading the blind. Wow. Wow. We've been on here for a while.
Yes, we have.
I'm gonna let you go. It's like
Li-
10:35. We did
listen.
two
Listen.
and a half
Listen.
hours.
I'm so glad these kids ain't got school tomorrow, so I ain't got nobody to focus on but me. I'm dead
Thank
serious.
you.
This is
Thank you
no
for
school
this.
November.
I know. I love November.
I hate November.
I love it.
Outside
See,
of Thanksgiving and my daughter's birthday, the whole month could just go away.
oh,
Yeah, my baby officially be 20 on Tuesday.
wow.
And then
Wow.
Thursday is Turkey Day.
Wow.
Give me
Congratulations.
give me that 1 week in November. You can keep the rest because these kids ain't got no school.
Wow.
They ain't had school Thursday or Friday last week. They ain't got no school tomorrow. Then they ain't got no school for Thanksgiving. And then by the time they get another full week of school, we'll be sliding on into December.
Wow. Wow. See, I love it. I love it. Only got one little guy, so
Listen, I'm
I
five
don't
deep.
now if it was more than one little guy, I don't know, I'll probably be like,
I'm 5 deep, baby. Five.
wow, that's a
Five.
nice number.
Huh?
Congratulations. That's a
Yes.
nice number.
Mm-mm,
See,
mm-mm.
I wish my number was that high, but you know,
Listen, it's never a dull moment in my house. And the
that's what's
crazy part
up.
is I was the only kid, so nobody expected me to have that many kids. Yeah.
Wow.
But is I always wanted like a real big family. And
You
it's
got
never a
it.
dull moment in my house, and they work my nerves. And sometimes I just want to tie them up and put them in the closet. So no, because
Oh,
they terrible. No, they're the best thing that ever happened to me, but they are absolutely terrible sometimes. Like you see, they ain't give me a moment's rest.
that's action, action, non-stop. Non-stop.
Non-stop. And then little boys,
How many little boys do you have?
three. I have three boys and
Three?
two
Oh,
girls.
okay. Okay. So do they like wrestle and all that kind of stuff?
They fight all the time.
Oh,
You see,
wow.
my 4-year-old is turning my whole entire house into one big mural. Okay,
That's
I'm dead serious. I literally have to paint the first and second floor of my house because there is pencil
wow.
everywhere. Like he's the artist of the family, so he just has painted the whole first, like the first and second floor of my house. Everything that he
Yeah.
could reach up to is covered. It's covered in either pen, marker, crayon. This is lipstick. Like it's a
You
mess.
gotta take a picture so you can show him later. Remember when you did this?
Listen, okay, I'm gonna take a whole video. Like seriously, my 6-year-old, that's the one with the locks with the face like mine. That's baby
Yeah.
Tarzan. He's scaling up the walls, flipping off of stuff. Like he's the worst.
Oh man.
And then my 10-year-old, he's the nerd. So he's the
Okay.
one that's into the computers and YouTube, and he got the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He got all 17 books, and he just
Oh, my son he got that too. He reads that. He reads that. Yeah.
oh, they got
Yeah.
a new one out.
And Dog Man.
Oh yeah, Dog Man too. Yeah, and Captain Underpants. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Listen, I got like 200 books in my house. Okay.
I hear the stories. The stories are funny though. I'll be like, that was what? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Listen. It be wild because he be coming to me, showing me the pictures and telling me the story, and I'll be like, what?
Yup.
Like what? Like what? They put that in a book? You know what I'm saying? But he
Yeah.
loves it. He loves it. But no, it's never a dull moment in my house. Never, never.
Wow.
But
You got a lot of personalities. Everybody different. That's what's up though.
but they all like you know I be having a lot of proud mommy moments because my
Nice.
babies.
That's what's up.
But they get outside, they got manners. They get in here and they do stuff like this.
Well, that's their home. So, They're
This is
being
their safe
themselves.
space.
Yes, they're being themselves.
Listen, but yeah, no, I thank you for having me.
You're
We definitely
welcome.
need to
Thank
do
you.
this again.
Yes, of course we
Um,
do.
but yeah, no, I really just want everybody to take away from this.
Yes. Wrap
The
us up.
Bible always says, "Do unto others as you would want done unto you."
Okay.
If you wouldn't like it, don't do it to somebody else. And my grandma always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all.
I don't know about that one. I
Listen, listen.
mean,
Try to
because
say it in the nicest way
sometimes
possible, because that's
sometimes
another
you
thing.
gotta say it.
Listen, and that's what I was getting ready to say. We have a shame kink, a degradation kink that we really need to work out in the in the world, and that
Uh-huh.
also stems from slavery too.
Okay.
You can correct somebody without shaming them.
Okay.
Now, their ego might not allow them to hear it, but at least you didn't say it in a way where it would break them. You don't want to break people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You want them to do better, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
How do
just a
you do that though? How do you when
okay.
it's
I just
somebody that's being a complete troll and
you
just
listen. I've learned. Having to be in the corporate world, especially in customer service, I've learned how to cuss people out the nice way. I don't
mm,
show that nice part on Facebook because everybody can kiss my ass at that point. Because the people that I have on Facebook, they know me. You know what I'm saying? I don't,
uh-huh.
even though my page is public, my friends list are people that know me. So they know I'm not gonna cut the shit. But like when I interact with the world, I try to say things as diplomatically as possible. And if I can't get through to that person, I learn to leave them alone because my daddy always said you can't wake everybody up.
Mm.
Some people will fight you to stay asleep.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I leave them folks alone. I leave
Mm.
them folks alone. I'm here for the people that want to do better, that want to change, that actually
Right.
want
Okay.
to, grow and evolve, just like I want to grow and evolve. Because if you don't, whatever doesn't grow dies. You know what I'm saying? And it's called
Mm-hmm.
growing pains for a reason. You got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable in order to change. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that I'm looking for. The people that want to stay where they're at, they can stay where they at because everybody
Right.
can't go.
Right.
I'm looking for the people that want to go. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I've learned that if I can't, if there's no back
Mm-hmm.
and forth in a positive manner, I just leave them where they are. I be like, all right, no problem. If you like it, I love it, and going about my business. But I always try not to tear people down because you never know what somebody going through. You might be the breaking point between them losing their shit or getting their shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I never want to be that person. I don't want to be the reason why you go out and hurt other people. I want you to heal and to heal others. You know what I'm saying? So I just learned to just leave people where they are. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people you that saying that you attract more flies with honey than with shit
Mm-hmm.
is really true. You know what I'm saying? Like you really, really can turn people off from your message by the way that you say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You really can't
Mm-hmm.
turn people off from your message. You know what I'm saying? With the way that you deliver it. You got to be nice and nasty with it. You can't just be all nasty with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be nice and nasty with it. Yeah, it's a very fine line to walk. And like I said, you got to learn to be self-aware and, you know what I'm saying, take personal responsibility when you have hurt somebody. The
See,
goal
I
is
need
not to
to
hurt
work.
anybody, but
That's
sometimes you might
true.
hurt people. You know what I'm saying? But some people just don't give a fuck. They just like, oh, tough love, tough love. No, tough love gonna get you punched in the fucking face. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You gotta learn how to, do the fine line, and it takes a lot of practice. And
Yeah, I need to work on that one
listen, everybody needs to
because
work
some
on it.
people I just Want to get straight to the point, like you're being a terrible person, you're awful,
Yeah. Yeah,
and I
no,
don't even want to
no.
associate
I
with you.
I I get that. I get that because a lot of times I want to do that too. And like I said, that's what I use my Facebook page for. Because I'd be like, y'all niggas just work my nerves. I just want, like, literally, I just want to be like, ugh. Like, you are the descendants of people that Harriet should have shot. Like, I swear. Like,
Mm.
I've said that to people.
And
Like,
then
you
you
are.
know what? It'll be people agreeing that are those people though.
Yeah.
Like the message was for you.
Right, right, right. Like, I don't like you this hitting a little bit too close to home, sir. I think you need to circle the block and go back. But yeah, no, but like I said, you just get the message out as concise and as diplomatic as possible, and those that it is for will gravitate to it, and those that it's not for will go away from it. And then that's how you live your life. We really got to get out of this shaming people, because like I said, you'll do more damage shaming them than correcting
Mm,
them. You know what I'm saying? Shaming is not something that we did as a community neither. Shaming is something that
okay.
got done to us through slavery. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You gotta learn to, they say the best way to do it is to put the bad stuff in between two compliments. Like, you compliment them,
Okay.
give them the bad part, and then compliment them again.
Okay.
So that way they take it a little better. Be like, I like this, but we really need to work on this. But you're really doing good at this, and I appreciate you, and blah blah blah. That shit. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, no, I do thank you for having me
Thank
here.
you
I
for
do
coming
I
on.
do thank those who participated. I hope I didn't say anything to offend you, and if I did, I greatly apologize. Blame my mind and not my heart, because I usually say the first thing that pops up in my head. Um, and I gotta go be mommy now.
I'm sorry I took you away from the
It's
kids
all right.
for
It's all right. They
almost three
all in my
hours.
listen. They all in my bed watching TV.
Oh,
They,
that's
they
the
ain't got
most
school
comfortable
tomorrow.
spot in the house right now. It's mommy's bed. I know about that.
Listen, listen. I'm 40 and still getting my mama bed, so it do be comfortable now. It do.
Right, like I don't know how they break it
Yeah,
in
they
like
they
that.
done wore down the little grooves and stuff. Listen, listen. That's something you
But
never stop doing.
I know, I already know about that. But
Uh,
thank you too for coming on. I
Not a
definitely
problem.
want you to come back
Anytime.
on again. I got to get you back on for another
Listen,
topic.
listen. I'm on hiatus from my normal podcast, so anytime.
Okay, all right. I'll bring you on. I'll definitely be in touch with you.
All right, mama.
To all the viewers, thank you too. Thank you for the comments, all that good stuff. And we'll see you later. Peace. I'm out.